What is up, everybody? Can I just say that St. George looks amazing and I want to grail him really bad now, but the shitty thing about that is you kind of need one at level 65 because sometimes you need him to die, so I have to level another one, and he takes hero proofs, and we all know how that works out. So, but yeah, St. George looking pretty good right now, and I can't even believe this, they actually reanimated like some of his body parts so he wasn't just like complete paper mache all the time, so that was nice. Anyway, so a lot going on right now. The added Saber Karna, we got Beowulf buff, we got Beowulf's gonna get a rate up. It sucks, I want to roll right now, but I gotta wait because we gotta be practical about this, because you're like, oh, but you like Martha, right? But this account has NP0 Ruler Martha, right? And my ult account has her at NP2. So if I got Ruler Martha on this account, that would suck, because it's always going to be way behind my other account, and I just want Beowulf for God's sakes. So I'm going to wait for his solo rate up and see if I want to get maybe 2 copies of him, and I'd be pretty happy with that. But that's sadly not until the 21st, but I'm definitely going to try to get him when that happens. Cause yeah, and then on my ult account, I'll probably roll for Martha when she's solo rated up, try to give her NP3 or something. Okay, well I guess we'll show off everyone's animations and stuff real quick. I actually haven't seen, how you say her name, like Vertra or something. I haven't seen her animations and stuff yet, but we can show off, Karna and everybody else here. Let's see, let's use, I wonder if George can solo this stage, probably. So far, I've really liked this event. It's fixed things, nice animation update and buff and blah, 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 blah. But so far, the gameplay's been insanely easy, but, it's not far enough in the event to really see, like, the side bosses and whatnot, so we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, here, let me fix the music. How's that? So, I haven't looked at Virtua's kit too much yet. I'll do that on stream, though, but I really haven't looked at her, like, at all, so... Though, the one thing I'll say is at least, I'm always complaining about them, like, just going way too far with designs and things looking, like, way too ridiculous. But she's pretty toned down, right? Like, it's just anime. It's not, like, space anime, right? So I'm okay with that. From what I looked at, it looked like she was, like, designed with Castor Artoria in mind. Like they didn't want to go crazy, because with Castor Artoria, it would be too much. But without Castor Artoria, I'm like, she seems pretty vanilla. And I'm like, I think a lot of the other AoE Lancers, for most players, are going to be better. But that's fine. Not every 5-star needs to be game-breaking. She's certainly good enough to work, so it's not really a problem. Alright, let's see. Let's get George in here. Yeah, Karna looks pretty good. Like, he doesn't have an upgraded NP, but he has so much quick up that it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of like Ryder Kentucky. And he's got the battery, he's got good hit count. Like, he's looking pretty good. It's nothing special, though, I will say. I don't think he's, like, game-breaking either. I think Saber Karna is just a really solid, free-to-play Saber, right? I don't think he's not as good as, like, the Twins or anything crazy like that, but... he's a freebie unit, and he's totally serviceable. He's certainly on par with things like Bedivere and all that kind of stuff. So I think he's totally fine. And if you like quick teams, I think he's going to be really good. He's pretty comparable to Deermid. I've seen some people saying he's power creeping him. I wouldn't really say that. Deermid's got a lot going on for him with like the Star Bomb and that kind of thing. And hold on, I gotta get my volume is such a mess right now. Let me fix this. It's always so hard for me to get my volume right when I'm using Dex, because Dex encompasses so much of my screen that you can see the volume sliders, so I don't want to use them, so it's kind of a mess. But alright, let's see here. But I do think Saber near mid could use a buff. That'd be kind of nice, especially because Karna is MP5 for free. Alrighty, let's see if George can actually die here. Although I guess I could have just chin-gonged him. Wrong George getting the cards here. But yeah, I really like George's animations. It's a lot of paper mache stuff, but they still put more effort into it than they normally do. And George's animations don't need to be, too fancy in my opinion. And like... I'll talk about Karna more when we get to him, but yeah, I love the extra attack. Karna's animations are pretty lazy. They barely animated him at all. Like, literally barely animated him at all. But it works out pretty well. Like, it fits his personality fine, like the way he's attacking and stuff. And his NP's awesome, so I think Karna gets away with it pretty well. Like, with Karna, it's almost all paper mache and particle effects. There's almost no animation going on. But it still looks fine, and I think it actually fits him pretty well. And then his NP is definitely way better than what you would expect from a welfare, so I think they get away with it. But yeah, they did pretty good with George. They didn't phone it in really. Yeah, Karna's artist does a lot of stuff that I like. Alright, let's see if they can actually kill. Maybe I should have waited a turn and then had them NP Chin Gong. That would have that'd have been good. I'd rather not kill one of them here. But yeah, if you watch like George's back leg, they actually, you know, reanimated it from a different angle a few times, which is generally indicative of how much effort they put into it. Oh yeah, it's because Dex always goes to this size. And this size doesn't quite fit. That's generally why that's a problem. Okay. We're about to get decked in the schnoz, but we can show off how tanky our boy is. I'm gonna literally... Actually, I could kill them both. I kind of want to not kill them both, though. I want to NP and then have my first skill up and see how little damage we take here. It's gonna be hard not to kill them both, though. Well, fuck it. I get that overkill in. Yeah, my only complaint with this event, though, is the gameplay is just dailies, really. It's gonna have some side bosses, but they look really easy so far. Yeah, I really like his new NP. I have it set to slow-mo always. I've seen people say his hand looks weird, but it doesn't. It's just his glove. It's because his glove is black and the background is black, so you're like overly seeing the gauntlet. But it's totally normal. They probably should have made the background a different color though because of that, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, let's show the close range Buster because it's pretty cool. But he doesn't have that many animations, but each animation looks pretty good, and he's a bronze, so, you know, you don't expect them to go too bananas. But I think they put more effort into this one than they have into quite a few other animation updates, honestly. Like, honestly, I think they did more work on this one than they did on Scath's. Scath's is so much like, you know, smoke and mirrors to make it seem fancy when they're not animating a damn thing. Yeah, Scath and Okita were so disappointing to me. I really do not like how they did those. Especially Okita's. I think Okita has like the worst animation update in the history of the game. Yeah, I will say, the old Stan animation had like the style going on, but his sprite looks so much better now that I'm okay with it. I really don't like Scath. Like, she looks better. You know, her sprite looks a million times better, like, no question. But they basically never reanimate her. She's just paper mache. They reanimate her, like, twice in all of her animations. And it's like, it just, everything she does reeks of them trying to make it look fancy without actually putting in any work. And it's just obvious. Like it's just particle effects. And Karna is the same way, but I think Saber Karna is, gets away with it a lot better. And at least they put effort into his NP. Like, Scath's NP is 1 frame of animation. It's 1 frame of animation on a 5-star. A 5-star NP with 1 frame of animation. It's like, are you kidding me? And it's a reused animation for normal attacks. It's like, oh god. The thing with Karna, it's not just that he's doing jabs. Like, there's actually a lot you can do from an animation standpoint. There's a lot you can do with jabs, like footwork and that kind of stuff. They don't do any of that. Like, they never reanimate his legs. Everything's from the exact same angle. Like, his arms aren't animated from different angles ever. They're pretty lazy with it, but like I said, it works pretty well because That's kind of how Karna is, especially with like, you know, his art attack where he just punches and then like all the, you know, the lines come everywhere. That's, you know, like a reference to his Lancer self and stuff. So it works fine and it doesn't look bad, but it is kind of obvious they're looking for ways to not animate him, which is just, that's been their MO lately, which is why I've been kind of disappointed with them lately. It's like, instead of them being like, hey, what should we do to really represent this character? It's like, how can we kind of represent the character without actually putting any fucking work into it, right? Like, I'm just glad with George, at least they reanimate his legs when it needs to be from the side and stuff. Because like, in this pose, right, his legs are at an angle, right? And if he got on the horse and his legs were still at that angle, that would look really fucking stupid. But thankfully, they actually reanimated. That's like no work, but you know, at least they did that. Although I actually think what they might do, and this is pretty fucking lazy if it's what they're doing, I think they might be copy-pasting his other leg. Like, see how his front leg is completely from the side, and then his back leg is from an angle? I have a feeling when he gets on the horse, they're copy-pasting that front leg. I will look here, but I would not be surprised if that's what they do. I don't think so. It's hard to tell. I don't think that's what they're doing, but that is hard to tell. And no, it's not. Like at that angle there, it is its own thing. I'm pretty sure. It's hard to tell though. But I don't think they ever. No, they do reanimate his arm there. They don't reanimate the back arm, but they actually do reanimate the front arm a couple times. So yeah, okay, they're putting in a little bit of work there. Nothing too crazy, but that's certainly more work than they put into Okita and Scass. And ultimately what matters is what it looks like at the end of the day, right? But I would say generally when they go overboard with paper mache nonsense, it doesn't look good. That's the point. It's like, it's very noticeable, especially with Scath and Okita. That's probably the worst that I've ever seen them do. Oh, and I hate to say this, but and Hector, man. Like, Hector's sprite looks great, but God, well, they do reanimate him some. The main thing with Hector is he basically has 3 animations and that's it. Yeah, she was like the worst. That one was, she had a broken leg like for most of her animations. But you know, for a bronze, I think George is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And you know, Karna again, it was pretty obvious they were just doing paper mache, but it didn't. His animations didn't really call for more work than that, I would say. Like, it would have been nice if maybe they did a little bit more with the footwork and that kind of thing, but overall, I think it's okay. I like Hector's animation update in terms of, like, what it just looks like, but it's just, it has, like, one of the smallest amount of animations in the game, right? Like, when he attacks, it looks fine, and his sprite looks fine, and, like, his extra attack looks fine. But he has, like, the smallest animation set, I think, of pretty much anyone in the game. And also his NP is literally a copy-paste of Chain Gongs, which I don't like. Back in day 1 FGO was kind of a shit show, right? But at least in day 1 FGO, the one thing that they never copy-pasted was someone's NP. There were no copy-pasted NPs day 1, except for maybe like Artoria and Artoria Alter, but that's kind of reasonable. Where these days, they copy-paste NPs a lot. Like a lot, and it is pretty fucking lazy. Alright, let's show, I want to see Vertra, however you say her name, because I have not seen her like at all yet, so I guess we'll just do this stage again, it's fine. Assuming anyone on my friends list got her, I would hope somebody did. Okay, there's a stage 1. It's level 29 though, they might actually fail the stage. Let's see if we got any stronger than that. I think Lost got her, but I don't think he's here yet. Oh, I have her up? Okay, GG. Yeah, what do you think of her, Ari? I don't mind her design. I haven't seen her voice acting and her character or any of that yet, but the design's alright, because it's not like it's just anime dragon lady. It's not like space anime dragon lady, right? They kept it pretty in line with, you know, not being too over the top. But I haven't even heard her voice yet, so except for the time you fight her at the start. But I literally one-shot her with Siegfried, so I didn't really see anything. Oh wow, already. Jesus, Ari, what are her mats? Are her mats pretty easy? Because Jesus Christ. Already 999 there. I think she's art. We'll just, yeah, we'll do Atlas. They're easy, unlike Karna's? Yeah. Nice to have a unit with easy mats for once. They've been pretty bad lately. Yeah, Fang's mistakes are quite easy, I would say. Alrighty, what do we got here? Don't think we can. I think if I remember correctly, she has art up for 3 turns, anti-divinity for 3 turns for the whole team, I think a battery on that skill as well, and then it's guts, and then like NP per turn and NP up, I think. Something like that. I think I probably missed something in there. So it's pretty straightforward, but it's still good. It's good enough to work. And like I said, I don't think every 5-star needs to be game breaking, so I have no problem with this. Hey, Arjuna. Alright, let's see. By the way, because again, I haven't seen her animations yet. Does she have different animations for like stage 1 and stage 3 or whatever? Very blue. So I'm guessing she's like a lightning dragon. That's the vibe I'm getting here. They're all the same? Okay. That actually makes my life easier. I'm pretty sure she's like a legendary snake person that they gender bent, I'm pretty sure. But they're like some kind of snake dragon thing from like Indian mythology. I don't think they're a very huge figure, as far as I'm aware. I don't think they were like a major thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like the design though. It's not, like I said, it's not super over the top. It's just kind of what you'd expect, so I'm okay with it. I would like George to die though, so we could see more animations here. That would be good. I feel bad getting George killed now, though, because he looks so good, and I always liked his character anyway, so... Wait, that's the Buster I already saw. Although she may actually only have that one, I don't know, we'll see. Dude, Siegfried, if she ends up being like a major boss in this event, Siegfried is going to destroy her. She has nothing in her kit. I guess she could have stage gimmicks, but in terms of just what she is vanilla, Siegfried is going to absolutely destroy her. Because Lancer, Dragon, you know, doesn't have invulnerability or evade or, you know, anything like that, so that's pretty nasty. And then Karna counters her pretty hard too, because she has guts, and Karna removes guts. And I guess Beowulf will counter her too now, because he's got anti-dragon, which I actually like. He absolutely should have anti-dragon. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. So far, her animations are pretty tame, but I'm actually okay with that. I generally like the kind of just more meat and potatoes, you know, bang, bang, smack, smack, right? And why did I even bring Leonidas here? Of course he's not gonna die. We'll do speed mode for a second here. Trying to see if she has a different Buster animation, but not having access to my whole deck is making that complicated. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I actually have not seen her in P yet. Oh yeah, she has Star Absorb on her first skill for art cards. So very easy for her to do like art crits. Well, I guess Leonidas is not gonna die. I mean, we'll just NP here. That was not the best for showing off her animations, but alright, let's see what we get here. I mean, most art units can move, that's kind of the thing. I mean, I'll roll for Beowulf. If I get her, great, but I'm not gonna, like, try to get her, really. I'm going for the Berserker Man. Oh my god, it's not CGI! I don't even believe it! Okay, that part might have been CGI. I couldn't really tell because there's so much shit in the way. I am shocked that was not CGI. They're so bad about that kind of thing. The ending part might have been, but I really could not tell. But the side part there, that was not CGI. They actually drew that. I am so shocked, dude. Like, they have been so bad about that lately, making everything like a 3D model. But that was actually drawn, so I'm impressed for once. Yeah, I like that MP a lot, actually. That MP is really good. Now imagine if her motif was green instead of blue. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm not rolling until it's a solo Beowulf, and I'm just gonna roll until I get I think I'm gonna go for 2 Beowulf copies because MP3 would be pretty swell. Let's try that one more time, and let's not bring Leonidas because he doesn't die. We'll bring Shingon, I think. I wish we had some, you know, wait, couldn't we just go use her in a harder stage and actually, like, give her a test? Like, let's see, what would be applicable here? She's AoE, she's NP1, she's 999, so we don't want to do anything too ham. Oh yeah, sure, we should check out our other stages, why not? Let's see, what would be a good place to test her? Yeah, there's the dragon stage, she'll never beat that, but you could at least kind of benchmark her. That's so not fair though, she's AoE, it's supposed to be single target, she's neutral, she's 999, like, that's so much against her there. Any divines in the CCC? Yeah, there's definitely divines. You know what? We could do Tesla, but she'll probably fail that because Tesla's nasty. Maybe we do, is Cleopatra divine? That'd be a pretty tall order. She'd probably lose that, but we could get some kind of value going on in there. Uriel and Asterios. That might be fair. Let's try though. Let's try Cleopatra because she'll probably lose, but the fight should go on long enough that we can see some value, right? And no one's expecting her to beat that anyway. What we're wanting to see is like how much is she looping? You know, what's her crit rate like? You know, that kind of stuff. So. It's certainly hard enough, though, that the fight's not going to be over in 2 seconds. Okay, Atlas is assuredly her best if she's 10-10-10. I almost wonder, though, if default is better at 999. I think no, because we're still going to get a debuff here, so we'll probably still use our skills twice. That's always a hard call, though. It's like if you don't have minimal cooldown, it's like, will you actually get them back faster enough for it to be any different? Oh shit, do we not refresh? It's only 5 AP, so no big deal. Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm actually really surprised by her design, though. I just would not expect them to make a 5. Like, her design looks like what I would expect out of a 4-star, which that's not an insult, that's actually a compliment, because generally I feel like when they do 5-star waifus, they try way too hard to be like, you know, over the top and wacky and stuff, right? Like, where her design is way more what I would expect of like a 4-star, which, like I said, that's a good thing. It's more grounded. Okay, I think it reset. Wait, that's the wrong one. Gotta love this game's support system. You know, Eri just relogged, right? She literally just relogged, and there we go. God damn, man. Okay, so this is stage 3. You know, I just realized her and Cleopatra are kind of similar here in terms of like their posture and everything. It's kind of funny. Okay, her tail is way bigger now. That's a little more over the top. That's a little more over the top. The particle effect's pretty cool though. It's all right. I'm gonna do fast mode for a second though. Try to get rid of our taunts here. I'm surprised she is a Lancer though. I get a good hand here. Okay, I did not. I was gonna say if I got a good hand there, I might use my second skill, but no go. What is her overcharge? Anybody know? More art res down. Pretty decent. Okay. Definitely that. Big tail, by the way. Wasting the battery if I use my second skill right now, but we could certainly use the damage. We'll have faith in her ability to loop here. So her other Buster animation is really hard to get, and she's only got one Buster card. That is pretty awesome. I dig the NP there. We are gonna die horribly though. Oh my god. Okay, so not gonna lie, solo the loop ability here is pretty meh. Now, there's a lot you can do though to push that in your favor. Like you could have Star Bomb command code, Star Absorb on the art cards, right? And then we could use the second skill next turn and get the battery. In the solo, she probably can still loop. It's just gonna be a lot harder, way less consistent. That is certainly not the best NP gain I've ever seen by any means. Yeah, you're definitely gonna rely on critting. But it's not too hard for her to crit, especially if you give her Star Bomb. If you give her Star Bomb CEs, I'm sorry, CCs, and then use her first skill, right? You're pretty likely. Like, between her first skill and the Star Absorb command codes, you'd be very likely to get a art crit. Thanks, Cleopatra. You're really helping out there with the hit count. I'll take it. Something that's for solo, this won't matter for team play, but for solo, something where she's like really different than 100 Face is she doesn't seem to really make any stars off her art cards. Where 100 Face can make a fuckload of stars off her art cards. Although we are also only hitting one enemy, she's an AoE unit, I'm pretty sure anyway, and you could be getting a lot more off your MP. Because yeah, even with double art resist down, we're not making any fucking stars. That's pretty wild, because 100 Face can make like 50 fucking stars when she gets her art resist down going, where Vertra here made 5. Tiny bit of a difference there. Yeah, 100 Face has Stargent up, and then, you know, really high hit count on her NP, and she actually has an inherent star rate that's decent. Not the best, but it's decent. It's probably better than hers. So yeah, she would definitely rely on Star Bomb command codes, but honestly, with her first skill, you could probably still get crits. At least once. There is no world in like a last man standing or a solo, there's no world where she's consistently critting. That is never going to happen. But she's looping anyway, although that's mostly because Cleopatra is being merciful, but you know. Yeah, 100 Face is pretty lucky in that she's got Star Gen up and Art Resist down. Those two things combined result in a lot of fucking stars. I will say though, before 100 Face got her NP buff, 100 Face really did not make that many stars. But then they added the Art Resist down and they added the command codes. Those two things combined really just, everything works and she just makes a million stars. Well, if she does crit though, it's super easy for her to loop. And if she's hitting 3 targets, I'm pretty sure it'd be easy for her to loop as well. And at least we're gonna break the first health bar, so. Hey Arjuna, thank you for the gifted sub. Also, I am tired as hell today, so I might be a little out of it. Good old sleep apnea. Okay, well, I kind of want to NP just for the art resistance down, and just hope we loop anyway. Okay, we should go speed mode now. Yeah, we have so much crit down that I don't think the boss is going to get any crits in, which is nice. By the way, I'd like to remind everyone that 100 Faces crit down is 50% for some fucking reason. I like how we're critting anyway. Honestly, this performance is not that bad. She's AoE, this is single target, we're neutral, we're 999, all that stuff. She's actually doing fairly solid. Now we're gonna get destroyed because the boss has invulnerability, but you know. But yeah, see, this gives you Star Absorb on your art card, and then if you had a Star Absorb command code, you're definitely, every star you got is gonna go to that one art card, even if the under the hood stuff is not in your favor. Alright, we'll just do other animations just cause, but yeah, it's not bad. She's not like groundbreaking, but I don't think every unit needs to be, so if anything, I'm kind of happy when they add units. They're like, yeah, they're good. Because like, you know, if you really like her and you want to make her work, and it's a situation where maybe you're fighting Divine, or you're fighting Archers, you know, or you just got a lot of art team stuff going on, she'll do fine, like no problem. Sure, she's not going to be like meta defining, although I'm sure with Castor or Toria, she has absolutely no problem looping. And in this event where she has bonus damage, she's going to be completely disgusting. Yeah, we'll check stage 2. We'll go fight, fuck, actually, if we want to fight Uriel and Asterios, I'd have to switch accounts, and I don't really want to go through all that hassle. But that would be an actual fight. That is legitimately a good place to use her, because that's 4 AoE Lancers. Well, okay, I'll do it. Fuck it. I really do want to see how she does in like an actual... Ari, do you if you've got the ability to do it, I don't know if you have the keys and stuff, but if you can give her command codes, can we slap some stuff on her while I switch accounts? Just because I am kind of curious. I'm hoping running Samsung Flow and Samsung Dex on my phone at the same time is not gonna like make it explode or anything. I'm not gonna roll until Beowulf gets a single rate up, because ultimately the only thing that I want out of, like, you know, Virtue is cool, and if I got her, great, but all I really want is Beowulf. And it's not worth rolling until he's solo rate up. I will roll for Martha, though, when she's solo rate up on my other account, because my other account already has her, and it'd be cool to get a higher NP rank. But yeah, my goal here is very much Beowulf, and I want to maximize my chances of getting him. Because really, I like Martha, but it would be so pointless to get Martha on my main account. It would do nothing, right? I would never use her, because I've got her at NP2 on my ult, and I might get her NP3 during this event. And so then, like, what need would my main have of, like, an NP1 ruler Martha, right? That's just completely pointless. Okay. I think my ult account is in the middle of a stage, but, just blow through that real fast. This is pretty weird having Samsung Flow and Dex running at the same time. It's pretty whack. Alright, my screen size is probably gonna be all over the place here because I'm not gonna worry that much about getting a picture perfect. So I'm just gonna switch off once we switch back to my main. Okay, good enough. Oh god, you can hear it twice because Dex is broadcasting both. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, that's better. Yeah, this is not like the setup that I would normally use when I'm using Flow, but it's not worth the time to get that going. You know, Achilles is pretty loud. I just turned the volume way down, and he's still just... I mean, he kind of should be, to be fair, right? You kind of expect Achilles to be like that, but it's like, goddamn, dude. Supposedly they fixed command codes. I haven't actually tested them. I haven't had time to play really until now. So, yeah, they said they fixed them. I think I have to point out, with all these new units and everything, Achilles is still, like, the best, by the way, I'm saying. I don't think there's a new UI for command codes now. Maybe someday. Okay, so this stage, if you're counterclassing it in your proper AoE, isn't too hard, but it's a little hard. I've seen AoE Lancers fail this before, but then because she's 999 MP1 and all that stuff, I think that kind of makes up for it being not like the hardest stage ever. So I think this will be a pretty fair test of kind of how she'll do in these kind of situations. I mean, clearly she's not really a solo unit, but it's fun to test her straight value anyway. Let's see, 1.5, there we go. That is not Salem. Like, Fionn and Melt actually have to work to solo this stage. Like, it's not the easiest thing ever for them. One day we'll get Aerie. Yeah, whatever command codes are better than nothing. That's good enough. Yeah, we got Star Absorb and Star Bomb. That's good enough. Definitely do Atlas because there's debuffs here. Yeah, at some point I'm totally gonna use Little Mac music for Karna in a video, I'm sure. So, it's been really... I really am happy with Saber Karna because... honestly, most welfares that they make, I just don't really care about. Like, I don't generally hate them, but it's very rare that they make a welfare that I'm like, oh hey, I actually care about this. Normally it's like, yeah, it's some waifu that I just, whatever, right? You know, I like Rider Kentoki a lot. Shiki's awesome. Shiki's probably my favorite welfare when I think about it, actually. You know, Kentoki and Shiki are awesome, and Gray's fine. Who the fuck hates Gray? Like, literally, who hates Gray? But the rest of them, it's kind of like, eh, you know, whatever. But Karna is awesome. I'm really happy. He's like the first welfare in a really long time that I'm like, yeah, I like this thing. So I'm very happy about that. Zig is fine. Oh yeah, and Romai, however you say his name, I always forget how to say his fucking name. Anyway, he's fine too. I kind of forgot he was a welfare. I always think he's a Gasha unit for some reason. And so Zig is characterized better in FGO than he is in APOC. Just straight up. I think his character is better in FGO than in APOC. He's fine, but I don't hype him at all, right? No hate, but he's just kind of there. Okay, stage 2 is nice. It's kind of between the other ones, which is what you would expect. It's fine. Stage 2 is probably my favorite, but it's pretty close. All three of them are fine, really. I'd probably say 2, 1, 3, though, is probably how I'd rate that. Alright, definitely gotta kill Uriel first, because she's just the worst, and she has MP Drain, and... oh joy, we got no cards. That's always the way. It's okay though, at least George can look cool now while stealing all of our cards. So this would have required more work, and of course they're not going to do it. But I would have really liked it if in one of George's stages, stage 1, 2, or 3, doesn't matter, that he was just on the horse all the time, right? He uses the horse so much now. I'm like, if his like standing pose and stuff, if one of the stages just had him on the horse the entire time, I would be totally okay with that. That'd be a cool option, and it wouldn't take that much work. You know, you wouldn't have to do too much to make that happen. I'm actually glad George lived for once, because we got just literally nothing done last turn. Okay, this is what I'll say. The APOC light novels are better than the anime when it comes to characterizing the characters and detailing the world and everything. It's just better. Like I don't think anyone even disagrees with that. It's like the anime is just a complete step down in every way when it comes to like what's actually happening and the characterizations and stuff. But it's still APOC, right? So if you like fundamentally don't like APOC, the books aren't going to fix that for you at all. And obviously the books aren't going to have the voice acting and the music and all that, all the bells and whistles and stuff, so it kind of just depends. Oh, Uriel has Divinity! I'm actually in the camp that I do like the APOC books. I think they're pretty good. They're not the best shit ever, but they're pretty good. Hey, thank you for the raid, man. Seiji, I think you say that? Thank you, appreciate the raid, dude. We're testing out Vertra here. Wait, is she fucking NPing our taunt? Did she quick? Yeah, she quick charged. Well, you know, Qingong's very dead, so that's good. Alright, here we go. So there's no point in doing our anti-divinity skill. She has so little health right now, so we can save that. Did she just say what I think she just said? So if I do get her when I roll for Beowulf, which that's not going to be for a while, but it's like 4 days or something until he gets his solo rate up. Anyway, if I do get her, I'll probably put her NP in slow-mo all the time because it's fucking awesome, so... Look at that 100% crit, though. This looks so much better because they didn't make it CGI, by the way. Okay, the critting makes it pretty easy to loop there. Fuck, we didn't break. That's unfortunate. Okay, I need Uriel to die this turn. They almost never attack on that turn. When you break Uriel's health bar, they just cast a million buffs. That's kind of lucky for us, though. Alright, she's got a really big defense buff. That's just a stage gimmick, but I think we can kill her anyway. So it looks like with Star Bomb and then Star Absorb, on your typical art turn, you're still not looking so good on critting, but you definitely have, over a few loops, you're going to get some crits, right? You're not going to be consistently critting in a solo anyway, like no way. But on a team, you know, you just get some Stargen in there, you know, like 20, 30, and all that kind of thing, and you'll be fine. Okay, we did not even get close to killing her there. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if anyone caught this, that was one of the weirdest mechanical things I have ever seen in this game. Because if you do like Skill Seal or something, and it's a stage gimmick, it's not one of their 3 actions per turn, it's a stage gimmick, Skill Seal won't work, right? Because it's just something that happens in the stage, and the fact that their character does an animation is more like fluff, right? The enemies get 3 actions per turn, and that's that, and then stage gimmicks don't count towards that, and they just happen, even if they're stunned, right? If they're stunned, they'll still do it. Now, what she just did, it is not a skill that Uriel normally has, but she actually cast it. That was actually part of her 3 actions per turn, right? And she was skill sealed, and she still did it. That does not normally happen. That is really weird, and that's also bullshit. They're cheating, by the way. Okay, not looping. Feels bad. Yeah, I think she definitely needs team play to get the consistent loops going, but I don't think I'm gonna kill Uriel this turn either. So I think I have to do invulnerability here. Can I kill Uriel next turn, though? If so, I should attack Asterios. It's kind of iffy. Besides, Overkill's good, so I think I attack her. I think we make stars, actually. Do we, though? We got decent crits here. We have the Star Bomb. But stars are really good next turn. They're more important next... Like, critting next turn is way more important than critting now. I think I hit Asterios then, and then we try to crit her and kill her next turn. Will I have my anti-divinity? I will, but I won't have my art up. Tricky. Oh yeah, Uriel animation update, by the way. Okay, just gonna yeet these debuffs. Oh my god, Uriel, why? Why does she gotta be like that? Oh my god, I think we're gonna lose. Not gonna lie, think we're gonna lose here. NP1 life drains kill you indeed. That is one of the best things about being NP2. You can go over 100%. Fuck. Man, if I had attacked her last turn, she would have died there. Okay, Asterios is about to fuck us up because he gets the actions. Oh god, I only have one more turn of guts. Oh. Yep, goodbye, cruel world. To be fair, like I said, this is a bit harder to solo than one might think. Certainly not the hardest stage to solo, but it's a bit harder than one might think. And we had kind of bad luck. And she's 999 in P1, right? So it's not that damning. But she's not a solo unit. She's very much a team player. She's not that bad of a solo unit though. She has a survivability skill, and you know she's pretty loopy and whatnot. So imagine if we were 10-10-10, and if this would be one cooldown shorter if it was at rank 10, and I could cast it right now, and not die. That would be great. Give me lores, I know the feeling. I think at 10-10-10 she probably can do this. We'll come back to this in future and see if she beats it later. Yeah, I don't have any lords on myself right now either, actually. I like that Dragon Breath animation, that's cool. Yeah, I think she could probably do this, actually, if she was 10-10-10. She should be doing a bit more damage, we'd live another turn. I think she could clean up there. So yeah, she'll beat this. Not necessarily right this second, but that's in the realm of possibility there. She might even be able to do it at 999 if I clean that up. I might try to make that a video later, just because people want to see the new unit. I might try to make that a video. Okay, we'll go back to the main account now, so we don't have to be on the fucked up screen and all that. But she's cool. I'm way happier with her than I thought I would be. You know, normally when they add 5-star waifus, I don't care too much. But she's fine. I don't mind her. And I'm actually glad that she's not like OP. She's just good. You know, she's just kind of a good unit. She's not like some game-breaking nonsense. It's funny, if this was Genshin Impact, I think everyone would be losing their minds. Because Genshin Impact added a 5-star that was just good. Not meta-defining, just good. And it's caused more drama than I've ever seen in a fucking mobile game. And it was like, oh my god, how dare this unit not be pushing the meta and better than everyone else. And they're just losing their minds over there. Where generally when FGO adds a just kind of decent unit, people are like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay. Alright, let's show off Karna. Obviously, most people have seen his animations already, but we'll show off Karna anyway, because he's a cool lad. Let me fix my volume here. I really wish Dex didn't have to be so large that like the sliders show up on the stream, but it is what it is. You know what? Oh, does anyone have him slotted? Because mine's not level too much. Shouldn't matter though, because he's an event servant. But I haven't. I've barely touched this event. Like literally, what I'm doing on stream right now is pretty much all I've done. We'll see how he does at level 40. This might be a little tough, but I think I actually might have an ascension item for him already, but maybe I should give him a gut CE. He may not need that. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's fucking do this. I don't know why Dex is always showing the bar at the bottom. Like, if you just, like, vaguely click anything there, Dex brings up the bar at the bottom. I don't like that. I love this man, dude. Am I the only one that feels like he looks like an antagonist of a boxing anime, but he's not an antagonist? And I actually love that because that's actually something that they intentionally did with the original Karna. Like, that was a part of his bio in APOC, was that a lot of people, off of like the way he speaks and the way he looks, a lot of people think he's evil and he's like chaotic evil and is like some villain, but he's not, and he's actually really good, right? That's like, that was a big part of his characterization originally. And I feel like they're kind of doing that again. It could just be a coincidence, but I do feel like he looks more like an antagonist from a boxing anime than a protagonist, but I'm totally okay with this. Because that's the thing, Karna's not even an anti-hero, he's a hero, right? But everybody thinks he's not.
1, 2.
Yeah, he's like the perfect balance between being a little silly because it's a Christmas event and, you know, welfare and everything, but still being serious enough, right? Like, I really like it. And he's got a hoodie, man. Yeah, I would say off the top of my head, you know, I don't care about a lot of welfares, but Whiter Kentucky, Shiki, and now Karna, that's like... That's some good welfares right there. By the way, Leonidas did not even get close to dying, but, oh well.
1, 2.
I think that's the only art animation he has. I'll try again real quick, but I think that's the only one he has. Which is a little disappointing, but it looks cool, so... I'm about to fucking command spell Leonidas, excuse me. I'm used to George being in the front. This is really throwing me off right now. Alright, let's bust out the NP here.
1, 2. いい組み立て。
Wait, what area? He has one art animation but 3 Buster ones. PBB and ABB show the 3rd one. Okay, we'll do that. That is such a good NP, by the way. Like, I love that so much. Yeah, I don't think they ever reanimate his legs, which is a little disappointing, but it's so good. Yeah, I love his art, man. He does good shit. Leonidas, you're really killing me right now. Trying to show off animations, you know.
そうしよう。いい組み立てだ。捉えられない。クリスマスを制す左。
Still can't get it. And before we win this stage and we can't show off this animation.
いい組み立てだ。ワン、いい組み立てだ。チッ。右出る。クリスマスを制す左。大事で決める。飛ぶぞ。
Come on, hit Leonidas. No, that's not Leonidas. God damn it, game. Okay, we want to do as little damage as possible here.
はい。行くぞ。いい。
I should have put Karna's card in the middle.
捉えられない。
There we go. God damn. I would hope he doesn't kill her so we can do the NP one more time, but alright, quick buster. Let's see what we get here.
捉えられない。拳の前だ。食らえ、サンタパンチ。
Did he just say Santa Punch, by the way? So, I like that because it's green, so I'm a fan. I always like when people have BM combos too, right? Because there's literally no reason to do that combo ever. But I always enjoy that. I dig, man. I dig. All right, here we go. Time to style. Dude, I love this NP so much, dude. It's so good.
サンタクロースの出番。いい組。そうしよう。
And he's fucking free.
皆が望むクリスマスのために。左、右、右、左、左、右。思いを込めて。打つべし、打つべし。ウイニング。アルカプトラ。
Yep, it's pretty good, man. Also, I'm sorry, Shinkai. He's like the right mix of silly and serious for like a Christmas welfare, right? He hits the... It's perfect. Yeah, the only complaint I have for this event, you know, good animation update, good rate ups, literally Beowulf's first solo rate up in the entire game, right? Which we don't have it yet, but it's coming. But so far the stages are boring as fuck and whatnot. They have some side stages, but they're really low level. They are right now anyway. Like, I suspect some of these will be better. Like, this one's level 60. They'll probably do 70, then 80, then 90, right? So we'll probably get a couple of good ones. But yeah, on the gameplay front, this is nothing really, right? It's kind of just glorified dailies. I was really hoping for something a bit better than that. But it is good farming, right? We get void dust and bones and all that kind of stuff, so it's not so bad. I have not done these yet, so we'll do this real quick. Level 30. I'll try to bring like the weakest shit ever to try to make this like actually something, but good luck. Why would they limit you to 4 characters when it's such a... I guess if this is your first event ever, these stages might actually be like noteworthy, so it's kind of a thing, I suppose. Alright, what can we use to not make this the easiest stage of all time? I mean Serenity, but I don't like okay, here we go. See, there's something. Omgra. Yeah, that's a thing. Where is the boy? Alright. Watch us lose. Like, watch us fucking lose this. What else do we got not leveled? Because I've leveled most things. That's kind of the shtick there. There's the Benkei. We'll give him like 3-star CEs. Here we go. Even at level 60, those stats are atrocious. we'll try to get his NP. Will be more fun than that. I have a green-black key. Do I not have a green-black key? What is wrong with me? Okay, I do. Jesus. This is the A-team right here. Black, Grail, and Gilius, yeah. Vertra, I like the design because it's not really over the top. It's like, it's over the top enough to be anime, but it's not like, you know, bullshit. And then, yeah, she seems cool. I haven't seen like her personality and shit yet, but she's fine. I like the design. They didn't CGI the dragon, which was good. You know, gameplay's solid, nothing groundbreaking, but that's probably for the best. I like all three of the stages, they're all fine. I think stage 2 is probably my favorite, but I'm not really sure. I have to look at them again. But all three of them are fine. This is a weird thing we're fighting right now. I guess Medusa's the bigger problem, I would say. Like charms and shit, it's gonna be kind of awful. We actually might lose this. We'll see. Oh my god! Gilius doesn't have his third skill. He is so bad without his third skill, dude. Holy crap, he is so bad without his third skill. That is not great. Watch this amazing DPS right here. By the way, no one on this team benefits from his first skill. All three of them have undamaging NPs. So his NP damage up skill does nothing. We're in for a bad time, chat. We are in for a bad fucking time right now. I think we need to save Charm for when they're gonna NP, because we have so little survivability, so we can actually stall them. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's like... What else am I gonna do here? Okay, we're getting pretty lucky. You know what? Let's try to just delete the little Medusa here. Sorry, Fury. That was pretty disappointing. Oh my god. Angra, no! Send help. Should have cast that skill, the first skill, a while ago. It may not be worth healing at this point, but we're gonna try. Oh my god. Look at that 1 star. Don't worry guys, Angra's gonna oh shit. Guys, it's fine. Angra has true damage and it goes through invulnerability. There's no problem here. I think she has a 1-hit invulnerability. Oh dear god. Oh dear god. Why do all of you not have damaging MPs, by the way? I think I don't use the yelly. Green using OP units, I see indeed. Look at this heal, boys. Oh yeah. 1,000. Don't you fucking Oh yeah, I've got him at Bond 10, but I haven't completed his interlude, so he doesn't have guts, by the way. 0 damage. Angra's NP literally did nothing. Let's break this down. He stunned himself, he did 0 damage, he healed himself for 1,000, but he died anyway, and then he never activated the effect. So, yeah, really good there. She only charms males, by the way. That's not good. That is not good. So if I use... Oh boy, if I use the evade now, we pretty much lose next turn. Oh my god. I need to kill and then have it target switch with the NP and then kill her with the extra. That's not enough damage. Yeah, now if Onger could heal back to full, that would be very helpful. Please, NP Matahari. We're just dead. It doesn't even matter. We're so dead right now. I blame Onger for this. You bitch. Hopefully this doesn't take my token. You have to use a token to start this stage. I'm hoping Failing doesn't lose it. I don't think they think anyone would ever lose this stage ever. But you know, we find ways. Just get your NP and land the charm, forehead. Okay, we'll get our NP at least. It'll win, yeah. Guys, we just wanted to show off Saber Lily's animations. That was the whole point of this. Please land the charm. Okay, that's good. Now, just do 1,000,000 damage somehow. Yeah, see, we should not have healed Ongra. If we could heal her right now, we could get our NP again. But now we're just gonna die. This is unfortunate. My god, though, she's trying. She's landing the crits. Can't really blame Matahari for this one. That was mostly Ongra. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's see if it takes the token or not. It didn't. Okay, so we can be as stupid as we want here. No problem. All right, we need to escalate this team just a little bit. Like, just a little bit. God, Gilius is so bad without his third skill, dude. Like, he's so bad. Level 40 twins. They're probably too much, I would think. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, we could bring Phantom, but he's honestly worse, I would say. I could level someone up to 40. That's like one thing we could do. Excuse me, the recommended level for this stage is 30, by the way. I'm just... So that means I can use Vinkei, right? He's only 5 levels under. Nothing wrong with that. Paris, oh god. You have to kill Medusa really fast. Alright, we'll leave it up to chat. We'll level something. What do you want, chat? Okay, let me... Why chat wants to pick something for me to level up to like 30, 40. I'll do some FP rolls just so I get more XP. Hide? Oh god. That's not gonna work, by the way. No, I'm not leveling. Well, actually, I already leveled Paul, actually, for the one video. Some of those I've already leveled, so they don't work. Zerker, Nobu. Yeah, pole's fine. If you see stuff, you just slap it in the pole. Yeah, Santa Karna is awesome, dude. Gilligil is already leveled. Landling, okay. We can bust out some low level. I like that. That's the best. And besides, I might level him someday anyway. I'm about to make Eri fucking cry, by the way.
Yeah.
What the hell is this filter? Okay, yeah, this is gonna be. I think my landling is probably like level 2 or something. Level 4. Okay, level 4. All right, that's something. No foe items, none of that. All right, so we want him to be like 30, 40, somewhere in there. Yeah, we'll give him the big boy ones. See what happens. Maybe we get a big success here. Ryder Carmilla. I think he might be B5. I'm not sure. I know I've gotten him more than 5 times, but I might have started to burn him because I wasn't planning on like, you know, trying to max him out just because like, you know, rare prisms are nice. But we'll see. I have gotten landling a lot on all of my accounts, honestly. I think I have a bunch of XP cards in my my second storage, so I can be pretty stupid with these. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Landling's already winning, so we'll see what else we get. People are like wanting me to level another Caligula, right? He'll just die, dude. He'll die so fast. Can somebody slot like a level? If someone out there has it, can someone slot like a level 30 George? That way our support slot's not just a complete joke. Here we go. We'll do 34. I think that's fair. If I can get someone to slot like a level 30 George, we'll bust out Caligula. Let me see if I got stuff in my second storage. Well, and I should not show my second storage because it's one like, there's stuff that you show in that menu, throughout like the card menu and stuff that is on the account recovery stuff. So I always forget how to get to X. Oh god, I have so much XP in here, and it's like all 5-star stuff too. Okay, I'll keep the 5-star stuff in here, because if they add like, you know, Green Knight or Sir K, you know, they gotta have that stuff. But I'll bust out some of these 4-star ones. Yeah, I have a bunch of all 5-star XP in my second storage. That's nice.
Yeah, いらっしゃいだね、マスター君。
Virgin is also banned? What the hell? That's kind of random. Alright, let's see, where's Caligula? Assuming I have another Caligula, I might not. Oh no, there we go. Oh joy, guys, I have another Caligula. I'm so happy. Like, there's other servants, it's like worth it to level a George up a little bit, right? There's no reason to have a second Caligula at level 30. Like, what the fuck is the point of that? That doesn't do anything. Oh, we'll ascend him, oh man. Wait, what about Rip Canis CE? What? Did I just burn my Canis CE or something? What? They died in chat. Oh, okay. I always love when Aerie is lurking and gets Sanson. That's like the best thing. Guys, we get his second skill now. We're so good. And it's level 1. Okay, we'll go to 35, and then that's that. Can you believe I'm using this XP for this instead of, like, leveling Karna? Like, only on my fucking stream, man. Like, what the hell? Although I have kind of wanted a roster of, like, you know, mid-level servants whenever they do have joke stages like this. Like, having a lot of servants in this level range would be kind of nice, honestly. I like his third ascension, like the black and like the green and stuff is kind of cool. Alright, anybody got a 30-ish George, or 25 George, or, you know, some such. Let's see what we get here. That works. That works. I respect this fishing. Okay, so Caligula and Landling, that's a combo. And I don't know what the back row is going to be. We'll see here. Aerie, aren't you proud of me leveling Landling? NP 4. Okay, if we can get his NP, it'll actually be pretty nice, to be honest. I'm gonna level Angra's skills once I get him NP 5 and once I do his interlude, because that's when you go in, right? There's no point in even using him until then, though. But at some point, I'm going to do it. Alright, where's Caligula? That's the wrong Caligula. Here we go. Alright. And then for cleanup, we'll... God, I mean, really, I should... Uriel is the right level, and she's at least an archer, which would be good, but I'm not using that. What about Angra for cleanup? How about Angra for cleanup? Or Matahari again. Let's do Matahari again. Alright, we'll do that, and then we'll do that. Okay. What do we give her? It barely even matters, I'm not gonna lie. I guess... God, 3-star CEs are so shit. Just stats, okay. Cleanup, this is the mess if I ever saw one, indeed. In 5 million FP, I've gotten one copy of them, feels bad. His pull rate is the lowest rate in the entire game, but you get more shots at it than anything else in the entire game, so... Like, you know, you're gonna get him with time, but the rate is so low, but you get so many FP summons that it's unbelievably random when you get, like, decent NP ranks on Angra. But if you ever want to do Angra things, you really want them to be NP 5 and level 100 and, you know, max health and all that stuff. That's the only way you get any kind of damage out of them. And even then, you really don't, it's not like it's that good of damage either. It's just, it's something. And it is true damage, I'll at least give it that. Okay, good. He's got invulnerability. I like that. Man, George is like a unit now, man. I like it. I think I will use Guts. Oh. Land the attack buff, land the attack buff, you son of a bitch. And he doesn't have his third skill, so... Maybe I should have him hit the saber. Guys, we're just emulating a day 1 account right now. Maybe a little too accurately. Although they would summon like a level 90 support, I would think. The music knows. We're gonna die. I really do want Landling's NP. I think it's fairly important. Okay. She has double crit up. Am I about to give these people command codes? I could give them like the anti-crit command codes and shit. Like, are we gonna go that far? Heals defense downs. Alright, Landling. This is probably not... I should have probably waited until I had a Buster card, but I need this to die. It's very important. It's not dying! Okay. Is Matahari worth saving for her charm? Someone is going to get stunned, by the way. 80%. Although Landling has magic resist, so it's an okay chance of it not happening. I don't know. This is tricky. I think I gotta save her. Wait! He's done a drain! I'm fucking it up right now. Oh my god. Look, you know, excuse me for not being well versed in the level 39 or whatever meta here. God damn it. Well, we're dead. Let me try this again. Well, we're not actually completely out of it just yet. We're probably out of it because Saber Lily is probably gonna just, you know, end us rightly, but just charm everything. I like to point out that Caligula was not good here. She just triple guarded. What is her magic resist? Like, that wasn't miss, that was guard. All three of those were guard. What is her fucking magic resist? Good lord. And, but we don't guard. We don't guard. She doesn't even have a 100% chance to stun. And Landling has magic resist, but she lands hers. This is bullshit. She's over here triple guarding, and we're over here, you know, just like, nah. Okay, let me just try this again. I like how this stage actually doesn't even cost AP, so we're actually losing nothing for failing this, so. Oh my god. Everyone's a paper cannon. So if I could use a certain CE, it would be very helpful, by the way, because the flat damage is actually good here. And it would stop people from just spontaneously, blowing the fuck up, right? If I could give them, you know, the one, it would be very helpful right now. What do I even... I guess we just stick with this for now. I'll be right back. I need water and a baseball bat. Why does a stage that is like designed to be easy, right? Why did they give them a permanent crit up? Why did they do that? I swear, I'm telling you, what this stage is they want it to be interesting for people that just started the game, like day one. That's what this fucking stage is for. And that's why they have a fucking crit up, right? Because literally everyone else is just like, you know, I'm gonna just turn one this. But, you know, when you're using this garbage, that ain't gonna happen. Okay. George, please save us. Good opening hand. Good opening hand. I like this. Barry, how many times have I made that mistake with Landling where I NP when they NP and I use survivability? I feel like I've made that mistake many times. Like many times. At least twice. I think I've done it more than that, to be honest. Not as much as Scath? Wow, okay. Just point that out on stream, why don't ya? Wow, they really do crit a lot. That's pretty fucked. Hmm. Is the success chance tied to skill rank? Let me look at this. Because he's never landed any of the buffs. Like, not even the defense buff. He's just landed nothing. Oh, yeah, okay. No, it's just 60%. So, we just failed 4 60%. Feels good. Hmm. I'm gonna try just going blast on Medusa and not doing like something hurt the saber with the berserker. Damn it! You know, Angra would be legitimately nice for at least the crit down. Like, at least that. Alright, Landling, this is your moment. 50% crit, boys. It's just a coin toss. Tails. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. And Caligula does anyway. Okay. He can do 5k, right? Okay, yep, there we go. Very good. So, regular landing is fine, but I missed his summer costume. Which I have, but you have to max ascend them to get it. None of that crit shit. By the way, the damage cut is so good here. It's so good here. Because it's a set amount of damage cut, right? So the level of the stage doesn't matter. It's looking good. Yeah! I think we let Matahari die. Just makes sense at this point. Do I Brave Chain though to make a bunch of stars? Versus getting NP gain? I think we make stars. That's okay. Alright, you know what? It's fucking 1v1 time. Like, but it's 124 though, right? Like, it's like we want to get our deck right, and you know, it's like we got this, but no, we gotta have 124 health though. Thankfully, Landling got most of the cards, so it's okay. The damage cut saved her, indeed. Okay, let's see here. You know what? If she's gonna live, she's gonna work. Why is she so small? Like, why is Saber Lily so small in that NP? Like, I know she's supposed to be like further back, but that looks really weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that looks really fucking weird. Oh, so yeah, I saw the guard. Okay. Here, let's get some more appropriate 1v1 me bra music here. There we go. All right, let's do this. See, Landling is overpowered even at this level with the damage cut, by the way. I'm not even kidding. And he does crit down. Like, seriously, now that it's just solo, I'm so confident. Like, we have crit down and we have damage cut. She ain't gonna do shit. Like, come at me, bro. Yeah, nice damage. Totally ready to be king, by the way. And look, I'm gonna do it again. Easy. Look, we crit. She don't crit, we crit. Okay, now she is like a million. Okay, can't stop them all. It is fine. We good. It's a lot of crit up. Not gonna lie, it's a lot of crit up. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna beam. I'm gonna beam NP, by the way. Toxic streamer. Not even the real Artoria. Some stupid side thing. What a joke. Oh no, Rex. We wanted it to be a more dramatic victory. See, you gotta make the enemy think they can win, right? And it gets the crowd going. See, we let her crit. I gave her that crit buff. Okay. That was an interesting experience we just went through. But hey, we get hero proofs out of it, so I mean, I'll take it. These stages really are aimed at new players, though. Like, they give you monuments, which when you're just starting out, you're wanting to ascend people and stuff, you're gonna need those, and you're not gonna have them. Hero proofs are good and stuff like that, so... They'll probably get kind of hard at the very end, like maybe the last fucking one, but even then I don't think it's gonna be that hard. Well, my goal is to make all of them hard, though, right? Even if they're not inherently hard, we're like what we just did, we're gonna make them hard, right? So that's our goal for this event, because if the game's not hard on its own, we'll make our own fun here. Yeah, MASH is kind of a thing on the dailies there. Okay, we still have that thing. I don't have enough to do it, though, and those aren't going anywhere. We can just... I don't have to farm efficiently on stream. It's no big deal. I got a couple of apples, so if we want to just, like, dick around and show off people, we can. It's fine. I don't have to bring, like, all support CEs. It's fine. Let's see. What do we want to show off here? I tell you what, though, I really do want to... I want to get my Beowulf MP2 at least, man, and I want to go fight that fucking dragon. I so want to do that, man. Does anybody else here have a, well, we got Max, not, wow, Max, how does this work? I'm confused. How does this work? You've got when he first buffed Beowulf, his very first buff was the NP, right? And then they buffed his second skill and his third skill. My guess would be, like, the NP might have like a higher bond requirement or something. Because I'm guessing you just got Beowulf. That would be my guess here. Oh yeah, he needs bond. I just got him. Yeah, okay, that explains that. I can't wait to test him out though. For those who don't know, they buffed his third skill. It's got a lower cooldown, which that doesn't matter too much, but lower cooldown by 1 turn. It gives you crit up for 50% 3 turns, and then you get anti-giant damage, like David's giant. And which is for like Grendel, that's what that's representing, and then anti-dragon damage for 3 turns. I really like that because it's a big part of his story at the end when he's older, right? So he kind of like doubles down with the dragon to save his people and everything. It's pretty awesome. Most people don't know about that part of his story, but it's actually like the most important part of literally the whole story, because it's kind of like his whole story is like maturing and accepting responsibility and becoming a good king and also being a badass, right? That's obviously a thing too. It's no rush. We can do Beowulf later if no one's got one right now. Because mine is, his skills are upgraded and whatnot. And I will get, mine's only MP1 though, that's the thing, so I'll wait. I don't want to do the dragon yet. I want to wait until he's at least MP2. I know I got all this SQ, and so it's like, it's tempting to roll now, but it's so stupid, right? I don't want to waste my SQ. You know, it took me a long time to save up this much. And getting Martha would just suck, so I'm definitely gonna wait. Yeah, I'm 100% waiting for the solo rate up. Martha gets a solo rate up first, and I'll roll for her on my ult account and see if we get her in P3, because she's cool. But yeah, I might even go for NP5 Beowulf, I'm not sure. Like, I'm planning on grailing Beowulf to 90, like 100%. I've been planning that for a while, I'm not sure when, but how many grails do I even have right now? I just grailed a Raj, so I'm not sure how many I got left. But we get, well, we don't know, but we're probably getting a grail from this event, so I'll have one more than whatever I've got right now. But I really want to grail Tesla, man. I'm so ready. Okay, so we're gonna have 5. That's enough to get Tesla to 100. Oh, that's so tempting, chat. I could just farm a bit and get him 100. Like, oh man, NP1 10 10 10 level 100 though. Like NP1 level 100 is so, it's so awful. But man, I am such a Tesla fan, dude. I'm just waiting for him to get a rate up. I mean, I'm telling you, no question, Tesla is going to be level 100 for me someday, right? The only reason I'm not doing it this second is because he doesn't have an animation update yet, and he's only in P1 for me. But he is 10 10 10, so he's ready. So I'm kind of just waiting for it to get him in P2. This is Precious Park from Armored Core. But yeah, I'm wanting to grail him. I want to grail Beowulf to 90. I wouldn't mind digging him to 100, but I don't feel like I'm going to have the grails for that anytime soon. And I do want to grail Calamity Jane. I do not like her design at all, but her gameplay is super fun, and I think there's a lot of potential there. Like, dude, I think she can solo Ibuki, right? If she's like, you know, at least level 90 in P3 and stuff. Like, I really like her gameplay, but her design is so shit, dude. Oh my god. Like, why do you have a styrofoam, like, #1 finger gun, right? Like, why? Like, why did he have to do that? But yeah, there's also, I really want to grail Leonidas too. Yeah, Beowulf, Tesla, Leonidas, and now George. It's tough, man. There's a lot of things, and hell, I wouldn't mind grailing, you know, Arthur and Kidu too. I don't grail 5 stars much, but yeah, they're really awesome. We shall see. Phone, by the way. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's see. You know what we could do is we could fight the million HP dragon with Beowulf now, and then compare it when he has a higher NP rank. Because it's going to be several days before he gets a solo rate up, so I don't mind doing that. Hold on, let's do this proper. Let's do this proper here. We'll give him command codes and all that stuff. Because, you know, I love interacting with the command code UI. It's such a pleasant experience. Okay, let's see. What do we want to give him? That's the thing. So, he's got his own star bomb, but you still probably would want some stars. I don't know. This is tricky. He's got a lot of options. And hell, if we're fighting a dragon, we can give him this stuff. I think that's just 20% damage to dragons, and this one is 25% crit. This event has a 30% crit to dragons, but it's only on Buster card. That's quite good. This one probably makes sense. I'll probably at least give him that one. It's just 20% damage on the card, right? Crit or no. Like, that's pretty good. You know, I might just grail Beowulf to 90. I might do that because I know I'm going to do it, and I feel like I should do that before grailing Tesla, because I think it's going to be a while before I get an NP2 Tesla. I just don't see them rating up Tesla anytime soon, man. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it gets an animation update tomorrow, but I don't see it happening, so I might grail Beowulf to 90, because I 100% know I'm doing it, and he just got buffed and everything, and he's finally getting a solo rate up, so... And I like my Berserkers, man. They're cool, so... Yeah, I wish this event was harder, very much so. Alright, what do we give him? We probably still give him the Star Absorb one. You absolutely want to crit. We do not want any like bullshit with that. We just unequip the staples and kind of look at what we're working with here. I mean, this event is pretty good, so, you know, the gameplay is literally nothing special, but it's still a pretty cool event. So we'll see what happens. Now, the dragon, if he lives a long time and he NPs, he'll do Buster Down and Burn and all that shit. But I feel like we're either going to kill him or be killed before that anyway. I would say more times than not. I don't think we worry about that too much. Where the hell is Beowulf? Oh my god. That's another reason to grail him, is just so... Pinth is another one I need to get to 92. It's another angry lass right there. Alright, definitely this. Maybe even Star Bomb on his Buster card. There's not gonna be a lot of turns where I want to use his quick card. Yeah, we'll do that. That might look weird, but there might be a turn where I'm like, okay, I'm about to get my NP, and if I get the heal, I'll actually live one more turn, and then go for crit. So it's probably not going to do anything, but it's alright. Alright, hold on, I'm going to move some of my XP out of second storage here, and then I'm grailing Beowulf. I didn't think I was going to grail anyone today, but I'm ready, man. I've been wanting to grail Beowulf it's been pretty much Beowulf, Tesla, and Leonidas, and I'm like, Beowulf's got buffed, and he just got a raid up, so I think it's time. It's just 2 grails. Yeah, that's fine. Wait, did I just... I think I may have just put XP in my second storage instead of taking it out. Oh no, my inventory is just full now. Oh god. I was like, why can't I take out these 5-star things? It's because, yeah, my inventory is fucked. It's gonna be one of those streams, chat. I'm not regretting this at all. I'm really excited for stronger Beowulf, man. The big reason I haven't been using him in videos and things like that is just because he's been NP1 this whole time, which is just the worst feeling. But I'm definitely getting him when he gets that solo raid up. Yeah, my inventory's full right now. What is in my inventory then right now? I just have a lot of fucking servants for one, but yeah, okay, I have a lot. Okay, I have a bit more XP in my inventory than I was thinking. Dude, Samsung Dex is good in a lot of ways, but it is awful for dealing with menus and stuff. It's just kind of sluggish. Oh, the Mori guy. This is good, man. Now he just needs an animation update. You know what sucks? Is because he didn't get one here, I don't think he's getting one for years. I'm serious. Because Beowulf is very unpopular in Japan, which is unfortunate, but he's not a popular character at all. And then, because he's actually getting somewhat of a spotlight here, he is never getting the spotlight again for ages, right? If he's getting the spotlight now, that means he's not going to play a major role in any upcoming events or the main story or anything like that, right? So I don't... and they don't do animation updates unless characters get the spotlight. They just don't. Outside of very specific things. The only way I could see him getting an animation update soon, because he didn't get one now, is if they wanted to give him one now and they just didn't quite have the time for it or whatever, and then maybe they do it for New Year's or something like that. right? That's pretty much the only way. So if he doesn't get it really soon, I don't think he's getting it any fucking time soon. It's just like, you know, Sanson. Sanson was really relevant in Salem, right? Did not get an animation update, and then he's never been relevant again because they don't when unpopular characters, when they get the spot like that, they're not going to give them the spotlight again. And it's just like George didn't get a random animation update until he was in the spotlight. And I think why Ushi hasn't gotten an animation update in all this time is because she hasn't gotten the spotlight yet. And they probably determined an event down the road where she is going to get the spotlight, and then they'll give her the animation update. They don't just throw out, like, rarely, occasionally they do, but rarely do they just throw out animation updates. They're normally, you know, planned with, oh, this character's going to be relevant now, so now we'll do it. You know, and I feel like with Ushi, they've just determined, oh, we're going to use Ushi for this event or this main story, and we'll do the animation update then. And it's just not going to happen before that. And so yeah, Beowulf, this was the time they were planning on him being relevant, and he doesn't have an animation update. So I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, there are times like anniversary for the game, New Year's, you know, almost anything could get an animation update in those points. And it's totally possible that the devs, you know, wanted to give Beowulf an animation update here, it just didn't really work out. So maybe he does get one soon. I hope so. But if he doesn't get one soon, I don't think he's going to get one until ever he's relevant again. And I don't think he's going to be relevant again for like 2 years or something, right? I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Let's hope not, Alex. I mean, I don't mind her. She's fine. Like, you know, a lot of the time, the 5-star, you know, waifu I dislike, and I actively do not want to get. But I don't mind her. She's okay. I'm not, like, really gunning for her, but she's fine. So if I got her, I'm not gonna bitch. Though if I did just keep getting her, and I just could not get Beowulf, then I'd be pretty pissed. Because, yeah, I do want Beowulf quite a bit here. Oh, you know what? I don't think I have Beowulf's third skill at 10 because it didn't really need to be, but now it does. Oh, God! Why, though? Why is it always those? Oh my God! This is what I'm talking about, dude! This is why I don't want to level another George! Like, God damn it, dude! Yeah, I can see why, Rex. Actually, I need seeds. I need to remember that I'm actually low on seeds. I almost never run out of silver mats, but I can't really remember the last. Oh boy, well, this event will probably give 2 or 3 lures, but that hurts. Seeds are in the lotto. Oh, thank God. I'm gonna have to go pretty ham on this lottery then. It has a lot of stuff that I want, so it's time. But I need to go ham on the newbie account. The newbie account needs a lot of stuff here, but I mean, my main is my main, so. When they're already heroes, you know, right? You can never be heroic enough, I guess. Alright, let's get a Arash in here just to remove the RNG with the golems. And hey, Arash is level 70 now. I don't regret that Grail either. 1 Grail, 10 levels, like, that's totally okay in my book. That is not Beowulf, that is Karna right there. Okay, what do we give him? A Gut CE would be really good if he gets lucky and he's able to get a lot of NP gain at the start. I'll try it. We'll YOLO for big value. He's only got the 1 art card though, so it's pretty RNG here. Where is my... That's this one. I need to level this more. I need to get this... I use this CE enough that I need to get it to 100. It just makes sense. Wait. If I do that, though, he can't use his 3rd skill, because his 3rd skill's where... Okay, that's probably not the way, then. I think we'll do that. I almost want to give him Atlas for Mystic Code, because his skills are so good now. I just don't know if he'd live long enough. Let me look at his cooldowns. Click the link. Because ultimately, he's, you know, gonna die pretty quick. I mean, his third skill's only a 6-turn cooldown. You could get it again, maybe. Less crits if I do it that way, though. I'll stick with this for now, but that is something to consider. I wish they boosted its uptime, because then you could loop it like Ku and stuff does. It's hard to loop Guts on Berserkers, but in a team setting you can. And so if they had made it last 5 turns instead of 4 turns, that'd have been pretty great for him. Well, not looking so good for MP gain, but what are you gonna do? Man, it feels really good to have a Grail Beowulf, though. Arash, don't crit. Actually, if he crits, he won't kill it. It's fine. Like my volume here. Oh, how I wish that had the chant. She ate a bullet, alright. I see you, Chad. I've been keeping tabs on that. Anastasia life, by the way. Okay, what do we want to do here? We have like no stars, but we can make them, so I think we just go boom right now. All the eggs in one basket. This crit spread, though, alright, let's see what he's got. You know, for NP1, it's pretty good. Jesus Christ, though, the crits! Looking forward to that being a higher NP rank. That was just self buffs, by the way. Dragon, what are you doing here? Dragon is throwing. So we've had a lot of units that only get the dragon to like 700k or whatever. He just in that one turn got farther than a lot of people have. That's pretty funny. Although he's not neutral though, let's be fair. He's a berserker, so. More damage, but no crit. I think we'll do it like that. Of course that crits though. The only one that crit I put in the front. Feels bad, man. Okay, we're probably gonna die next turn. Ooh, though. Okay, I gotta do this. They have the crits, and if we can get our NP again, that'd be amazing. Watch them not crit, though. Nope. Okay. Just. Yep. No, that's fine. Neither of you crit. I didn't even need it. It's not like I had a crit buff or anything. Wow, we are so lucky that we don't really deserve this turn. We really don't. Like I should have died there and then had to cast Guts, but I'll take it. At 60% crit though. I mean, it just screwed me over, but you know, it wouldn't do it again. Like, surely it wouldn't do it again. You know, 50, 50, 60. You know, 50, 50, 60, overwhelmingly you should get 1 crit, right? Like, that's overwhelmingly how the statistics work on that. Okay. We're gonna get our skills again though, just because we got that bullshit turn there. We actually win. At NP1 we win. Now, we would have died, you know, if he had just attacked that one time and popped guts. But once we get the higher NP rank, we might, I'm not sure, we might be able to pull this off without that turn. But yeah, he definitely wins here. Like, we don't have the anti-dragon damage, but we're buster chaining the extra attack, like, we win here. I'll still do it though, just to be, for sure. Almost ready to yeet the app here. Yeah, Dragon really wanted the NP there. Obviously we got lucky, but a lot of Berserkers don't do this even if they do get lucky, so not bad. And he's only NP1, so I mean, shit. Oh, is he already dead? No, he's still alive. What to say? Okay, yeah, he gonna die though. It actually would have been pretty close without that crit. I was a bit closer than I would have thought. Yeah, that NP rank will that'll be nice. But hey, he got it. I'll take it. Oh, isn't Surtur giant and dragon? That's some damage up right there. Ibuki is giant and dragon. Oh, here, let me just boot up my story replay. God damn it, game. One of these days. Alright, let's get some farm in here. I wouldn't mind trying to see how, what is it, Vertra ever say, how she does if everything else on the team is kind of budget in terms of farming, right? Like, this is a pretty, you know, tame, you know, she's 999, NP1, nothing fancy, right? And we'll use, like, really tame supports and stuff, like, we'll see how she do. Now, she is an event servant, so she gets more overkill than normal, so her NP gain is going to be a bit better than normal, so it's not, like, totally proper here, but let's get Hohenheim. I wonder if you could get away with K-scoping on her, with Cancer Artoria, of course, but, like, I wonder without Cancer Artoria, I wonder if you could make that work. That's not very budget, though. Let's see. What else would we want? What's budget? There's Hans. There's Mozart. I like Hans. Everybody has Hans. Except for, like, you know, crazy bastards. Bring in Mozart for, like, a big NP gain refund turn. That's pretty budgety. Okay. And then I don't think the back row is going to matter at all. I want Bond on Q and, I guess either Canis or Mori. Whoever has lower bond, I should get up. Because there's, you know, at the end of 2.0, they might have some bond bonus bullshit, so I want to get them up somewhat. Okay, we'll do Canis. I don't think this stage even drops those. I've done, like, absolutely no farming in this event. Okay, I don't think his CE is gonna really matter. We'll just do like 20-30 or whatever. Although that's not exactly budget, but I mean, I don't think it'll matter too much. Besides, later in the event, these would be event CEs anyway, so like whatever. Alright, let's see how she do. I guess also you could use the Babylon. If you didn't want to switch, you could do the Babylon Mystic Code. It's always interesting trying to loop without, like, Waver or Nero Bride or any of that. Yeah, I know, that George CE is awesome, dude. I've seen a lot of people be like, oh shit. Well, you know, we can have Hohenheim do Hohenheim things. The hard part when you don't have like Waver or Scatty, Castoria, any of that, and if you don't have K-Scope, is just getting your first NP. Is she maybe on random or something? I don't know. Probably not, because all the other stages were matching as we thought, so... Yeah, we still don't have her NP. Feels bad. I think her battery is 20%, so that sucks. By the time, like, we could be pretty much through the stage by the time she would have it. This probably isn't the best testing ground for her anyway. We'd need more battery from somebody, maybe throw in Shakespeare and whatnot. And see now, there's no testing this now because there's only one enemy, right? This isn't, we're not doing the loopy stuff. The stage would need to be harder, right? If you wanted to do this kind of setup, the first wave needs to not be a complete joke. Well, we can still see her MP regain to a degree here. That so did not work out though. A Rosh would have been better, although that's actually commonly the case. I am interested to see though what the refund on this is. Because we're hitting 3 targets. Normally when you do something like this though, you'd have Hans's 3rd skill still up, so you'd get another 10% at the end. Not bad. And then you know, with Hans's thing and then her 2nd skill, you could NP again pretty easily. Yeah, that's not bad. And especially for like, you could, for a lot of stages, like harder stages than this, you know, someone that's being very free to play, right, and it doesn't have a lot of, they don't have access to Waver and all this nonsense, you know, they could use a Rosh for Wave 1, things like that. So, yeah, it's not bad for farming even for a newbie account, I would say. Certainly not like the best thing I've ever seen, but totally fine. Yeah, her NP is really cool. Yeah, there's really no doing the, trying to test like NP nonsense on that stage though, like she just kills them too fast. Like the super budget thing would be like, the thing is, what most budget people would do though is they'd use whatever DPS they have. I mean, some people do legitimately summon DPS to help them farm, but people normally will summon a support, right? They'll summon like, you know, Castoria, and then they bring, you know, whatever art DPS they have and stuff. The only time you wouldn't really do that is if you just don't have an art DPS, which is totally possible. Or you're just so new that you don't have damage dealers worth a fuck, right? But and this stage is though, I wish it was harder because it's so easy. There's like no there's no testing anything here. Like you could 3-turn it with just a Rosh Spartacus or just, you know, Mordred stuff. Like there's no end to the amount of ways that you could do this. I mean, fuck, I could do it with just like, you know, K-scope on literally anyone. So it's not. Here, let's show off somebody animation wise here. Man, that's a thing. And I hate when stages are this easy though, because you can't do anything. Like, oh man, farming. Actually, there are stages Jolter can 3-turn. They make a lot of stages these days where you fight a single enemy instead of AoE stuff. Like, even the free quests from 5.5, they have several free quests where you fight like just single enemies and stuff, and a lot of times single target stuff is better there. Sometimes though their health thresholds are low enough that you don't even care if it's AoE or single target, like it makes no difference. They're not even gonna kill. There's no point in me doing this. There's no way they're gonna kill my taunts. These guys are like, there's no way. Like there's no fucking way these guys are gonna kill my taunts. What is the most unfair fight in the game? Probably the Knights of the Round Table fight from Saber Wars 2, I would think. It's probably that or Nerofest Gramps. Now, if they brought Nerofest Gramps back now, I think it'd be pretty easy because there's just so many more budget units in the game and everything. I think it'd be all right. But so yeah, I'd probably say Knights of the Round. That was pretty bullshit. You know, it was doable with low star. There was really no way to like go full on 1 to 3 stars without using OPCEs and or command spells and all that stuff. But you could beat it like with command spells and things like that. But in terms of like a game design standpoint and all that, it was pretty. Ooh, I like. I already got the command code. Very nice. Yeah, I did not like that fight because it was just so badly tuned. The gimmicks were kind of cool, but the tuning on like the stats on the enemies, it was just completely stupid. It was them trying to make a fight that was hard for people that were using Merlin and Waver and Scatty and all those, you know, crazy bullshit things. And every time they do that, it's lame, right? Every time they made a fight like that where they're trying to make it hard for the high end, it just ends up being like really nonsense and silly for everyone else. So I think I'm gonna have to kill one of these, which I don't want to do, but I think it's going to happen, if I like it or not. Yeah, there was RNG in it too, that's true. I always dislike when there's heavy RNG and stuff. But, like, if you get good RNG, you know, it can like be so much easier, right? But then if you get like bad RNG, then it's like, it's a completely different fight, and it's just like... I don't enjoy that kind of thing. Dude, rare. I don't pick on their challenge quests much. You don't hear me bitch about challenge quests too much. You know, sometimes like, yeah, maybe this is a little undertuned or a little overtuned, right? There's been a few things here and there, but rarely am I like, yeah, this was bad, right? I only think of a few times, but there have definitely been some. And the Knights of the Round Table is one. Gramps was kind of one. And then the boars weren't even hard, right? If you just summon like a friend's Waver and stuff, and you got like if you got your own like big hard hitting, you know, AoE unit and all that, like especially Buster, because Merlin was a thing back then. It wasn't that bad, but if you didn't have any of those things, it was completely bullshit. Like that stage, it's funny because that stage is almost undoable by pure 1 to 3 stars, but then it was laughably easy if you're just like LOL Merlin, you know, Arthur or Mordred or Toria or whatever, right? Like, and then Waver, right? Like, things like that, or even Merlin and Mash, and then Big AV version, right? Like, that was just bad design. It was such a straightforward challenge quest, and it wasn't interesting. It was very boring, and it was just a giant stat check, right? It was a giant stat check that was very easy to meet if you were using all the bullshit stuff, and then it was the nothing burger. But then if you're using the low end stuff, because it was just a stat check, there was no room to be clever, right? There was no like utility to be had. It was just LOL. There's an insane amount of giant boars. You know, they have a huge amount of health, and they're AoE, so there's no taunting or tanking or death manipulation. They just hit everybody, you know, and they just do super damage, right? So it's like that was bad. But thankfully that was a long time ago, and they've never made another challenge quest like that. The other end of the spectrum, though, where I think they make bad challenge quests is just when they're too easy. Now, they don't do that too often, but like the first challenge quest they ever made was Hijikata, like modern challenge quest, right? That had like the modern standard and everything. Was Hijikata, and that was just so easy. Like that was so easy. It's really funny looking at that challenge quest in hindsight, because nowadays, when you break an enemy's health bar, generally bad things happen. Or the fight changes, not necessarily good or bad, like some gimmicks will go away and new gimmicks will be added, but a lot of times when you break an enemy health bar, something bad happens that you have to deal with, right? Where with Hijikata, when you broke his health bar, it was good. He gave you like a bunch of stars and shit, so now you get free crits, right? Hijikata was literally just a berserker with a lot of health, that every time you broke one of his health bars, you got free crits. That's so boring and easy. Like, that's so fucking boring. And, you know, he's just a single target, so taunts, you know, countered the shit out of him. You know, there was nothing special there. But that was literally the first time they had done a challenge quest with, like, modern standards, right, with health bars and all that stuff. And you could tell they were just trying to test the water. They weren't sure if it was going to be, the health bars were going to make it too hard or not. They didn't know. because he's kind of started making them harder ever since then. But yeah, that is such an easy challenge quest. Out of all the modern challenge quests, that is the easiest one. But it's also the first one, so it's kind of what you would expect. Are these snake mobs new? I think they are. And you know what? If they are, we should actually try to get their NP. I'd like to see their NP animation, because I don't think I've seen these before. I certainly can't reference an NP animation from them, so even if I have seen them before, I've certainly forgotten. Yeah, we'll try to see their. We'll try to bring a weaker team and see if we can get. They get their NP pretty quick. So. Anybody got a Lancer, Tam? That would speed it up. Well, there's a crit animation. I wish they weren't Shadow Servants though, because then we could see them a bit more clearly. But by the way, that crit animation that Snake just did is cooler than any of Ushi's animations. Does she have her battery skill at level 1? Isn't her second skill or something? I can't remember. But yeah, giving the enemies battery would be handy. Why you gotta go there, Green? Hey man, I hope I hope they fix her up. I should really be giving my Georges. I should at least give my George an event CE or something. I haven't really looked at this event yet. What's yeah, you get those. So the CE must be from the shop. Yeah, it is. Okay. By the way, I did one stage. I did one stage on the 1 to 3 star account, which I'm not planning on doing this event really on the 1 to 3 star account. I'm not gonna have time, and it's already got a poison command code, so I'm like, no big deal. But I did one stage and it got a CE drop, and I'm like, oh, okay, great. I was like, can I have that on, you know, one of my other accounts, please? Apparently not. I want to get that Karna Ascension item so I can use him easier. Yeah, she seems like a bit of a psycho, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen her voice lines yet. Oh my God, Karna, man! I love Karna too. Yeah, I guess sadistic. She's kind of sadistic. That's what it looks like, but we'll see. All right, what was it? Oh yeah, we want to see the snake animation, right? So I need to have like shitty DPS. We gotta go slow. I think we bring sabers. That's probably the way to do this. Oh yeah, I have not actually seen Ibuki's animations. I want to see if they're different from her boss animations, so I should do that. I don't really like Ibuki, but I literally have not seen what her animations are, so. Besides, if I can actually bring bonus CEs if we're dicking around like this. So we need low DPS, and then NPs that don't do damage would be really nice. We could do Gilius. He would probably die before we get there though. That's maybe too weak. I'll do Saber Lily. Everybody likes Saber Lily apparently. Okay, give me my bond though. Hopefully none of them die, because all these things in the back would just shred. Like, if they get a single card, they're gonna murder something. Because 2 of them are counterclassing and the other one is a berserker, so... God, I only have the 1 CE. I need to fix that. We'll go with Sunlight. Just whatever. Oh, I should at least bring the bond boost CE. Not be that wasteful. It's like an extra stage every 10 stages or whatever. There's Chat's Mystic Code. I will say that is a nice Hawaiian shirt. I will like it. It don't look half bad. I will say that. But god damn, Chat. I should level this one. That one's shit though. Like who the fuck ever uses this one? We'll level that one. This one, at least if you absolutely gotta have buff block and you happen to be using an art team, this can kind of work out, right? Rarely is it meta, but I'm sure it'll have some use someday. Give Ku Hawaiian shirt, indeed. Ibuki stage 1 animations are different from our stage 2. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out if we can get lost to change it. Oh wait. Never mind. Never mind. I thought this was stage 1, but it's not. It's the other. Yeah, nope. Never mind. I don't actually ever want to see those animations. I'm not gonna lie. Backing that up real fast. Okay. Can't see my other servants, especially Saber Lily there. She's having a bad time. She has two stages. Yeah, pretty much. That was kind of cool. Yeah, that she did. I remember that. You know, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool extra attack right there. Just certainly not my kind of character, but that wasn't half bad. Okay, Fergus ready to go in here. I swear her stage 1 exists so that you could just randomly go after a different demographic and just get more sales. Like, I'm so sure that's why they did that. Because it's so fucking random. And like the story she's based on, it's just, that's like what? Like it's so dumb. Yeah, Saber Lily's not enjoying herself right now. Feels bad. Ibuki's another servant though that I'm kind of glad the way that they did it in terms of gameplay. She's good but not broken, and that's really good in my opinion. I like how I have no survivability on this thing, and they've never touched Ibuki, and Fergus still has he's been hit once, so that means they've only hit Saber Lily except for Fergus one time. Every other attack has been Saber Lily's face. That's pretty rough. If she could like get her NP and then heal herself, that would be a thing. I wanted to see Ibuki's animations, but I don't want Saber Lily to die too fast because then Mori's gonna come in and murder everything. Okay, they finally hit Fergus at least. Watch this amazing damage. I like how she heals the team, but no one else is taking damage. So all that value is going out the window. I mean, with COVID, I don't think anyone has enjoyed this year, right? And like, for God's sakes, I'm not a super like social butterfly. I need a lot of alone time. I really like being alone, and you know I like doing a lot of indoorsy things. But you know I also like hanging out with friends from time to time. Or like literally ever, right? And, even I am like, okay, this sucks. Like I haven't seen my brother in like a year. I've talked to him like on Discord and on the phone and stuff, but I haven't actually seen him in like a year. It's kind of messed up. Pretty much the only human being I have seen over the last year has been Tusk. So that's been an interesting experience. But yeah, I'll be glad when we get through this. streaming has been so helpful. I like streaming anyway, and streaming has just been like a complete lifesaver for me. And you know, it gives me something to do. You know, I haven't been bored at all. I've never been bored during this last year, not at all. But yeah, that's been very handy. I mean, I can safely say 2019 was not half as bad as 2020 because of COVID. I find people are always saying every year sucks, and I don't normally agree with them. Like, I'm like, you know, because it really comes down to what happens to you in your personal life. That's what really affects you. But COVID has affected everybody on a pretty significant level, right? So it's pretty easy to say 2020 sucks. Yeah, that animation right there she had as a boss as well. So basically her boss animations are her normal animations. They just were hiding a lot of them, is what it looks like. Remind me to put it in slow-mo when we get close to the right moment. Now there have been years that for me personally were worse than this year, but that was just because like you know like things that affected me only, right? Not things that affected everybody, right? This is easily like globally like been pretty crap. Snake's giving us some snacks. Somehow Saber Lily's hanging in there. But, you know, there's plenty of positives as well. It's not like I've hated every second of this year. I really haven't. I mean, you know, I've met a lot of cool people. I've, you know, gotten to work on my stream and YouTube and everything a lot. You know, there's been plenty of good stuff, but, yeah, overall, not great. Alright, here we go. It is time. I guess Tristan's gonna fuck somebody up. Watch them kill Mori. Actually, it's fine if Mori kills Tristan. Alright, Snakes, don't let me down. There's been some pretty cool trash mob animations for NPs over the years, so hopefully they get something nice. Like some of the 5.2 people were pretty cool. And the Bloodborne guys, everybody likes the Bloodborne guys. If I'd done Mori's attack up, he would have killed. Ooh! Oh, hell yes! That, you know, kind of lazy. They were just reusing the particle effects of some, Semiramis' dragon there. I think they twinked it, but that was pretty much what that was. That was a lot of green and for a long time. That stayed on the screen for a long time. I liked that. I'm okay with this. And it poisoned us, so that was thematic. So, okay, these, of course, they killed Tristan. Tristan killed Mori, excuse me. Does anyone feel like, though, so this event, I like this. That is an excellent shade of green. But, so they're kind of thematic because I know Vertra or whatever has to do with, like, snakes and whatnot. But I don't think they made these mobs just because of that. I think they like, oh yeah, they work here. But I think these mobs were created for something down the line, and they just happen to fit in now, and that's why they put them in. But I think they're for Lost Belt 7, actually. I could see that. You know, it's a jungle, right? So that makes a lot of sense if they're. And I think what they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna need these for Lost Belt 7, but these are gonna have a lot of general use. They're just, you know, sinister snakes, right? We can use these for all kinds of things, for like free quests and events and stuff. So I think they were happy to make them. That's what I would imagine. But yeah, I bet you're gonna see these things in Lost Belt 7. That just makes a lot of sense. Alright, well, now the Lancers are here and everybody dies. I guess maybe they could be in Camelot. Maybe there'll be some person there that's like snake related. I've seen a lot of theories, and I think there's a lot that kind of points in this direction. That the Knights of the Round Table in Lost Belt 6 are not going to be the normal Knights of the Round Table. They're going to be fairies. Because everything Beryl has said and everything, it's like the fairies have taken over, right? And then you got Morgan, right? So I think it's going to be like Morgan is the head, right? And the round table is a bunch of different fairies or something. I've seen several people kind of theorizing on that, and that kind of makes sense. Especially because, isn't it called, like, you know, Avalon Lefay or whatever? Because Avalon is the land of the fairies. So, it just makes sense, right? Like, so I have a feeling the Knights of the Round in this, you know, Lost Belt are going to be, you know, it's like the fairy brigade for some reason. Because we know they're more active because, you know, they're trying to kill Beryl and stuff. Now, what will be interesting is if the fairies are not in league, though, with the like, the main antagonist of it, but we'll see. Let's see if we can keep Fergus alive. He took all of the goddamn cards, though. Well, we can probably kill 2 of them. Venus, don't fail me. It's a quick card, but you got your buffs. Venus, you failed me. Wow. How about that, though? Okay, let's see if Canis can run it back now. It's called Fairy Round Table, is it? If it's named that, then definitely it's gonna be Fairy Knights of the Round or whatever. I didn't realize it was named that. That would explain why so many people were speculating on that. I am actually really glad that Morgan has been almost confirmed, because any chance Green Knight have is getting in, I think, will be with Morgan. So, but I don't think he's even going to be there. I hope he is. There is no words that I can use to express how much I want Green Knight in this game. Like, dude. But I don't when I get my hopes up. Well, you know, as much as I like this event, it's, you know, gameplay-wise, we're kind of dead in the water here. Maybe we jump on our ults and just, 'cause I feel like if I'm going to throw apples at the screen, I always prefer to do that on my ult, because my ult has over 1,000 apples. Although, you know, this is a good event to farm, so maybe I hate farming on stream, but I don't know if chat can throw some bullshit my way and we can, if we just had a harder stage to farm, I would just have chat be like, you know, tell me to try to make a setup with this unit and that unit and make different farming setups for it. But this stage is so easy. There's no doing that. Green Knight will be like Van Gogh. I hope not. Don't even joke about that. All right, I guess we want to get bananas while we're here, because we actually, it doesn't make sense to farm the lottery yet. It really doesn't. Like early on in events, you want to farm the lottery once you've already gotten what you need out of the shop, and then there's a really good lottery drop stage. Although this stage is more about lottery drops than anything else, but they're just, none of these stages are particularly good, and that's why I don't really want to use that many apples right now, because I normally don't use my apples until the stages are actually worth a fuck. Then I go ham, right? If I'm going to use apples, I want the stages to be a lot of boom for your buck, and these stages are not a lot of boom for your buck right now. Like, oh dear god, they're a whole lot of nothing. Alright, what do we want to make here? Alright, well, we want Ku and Canis on the team because I want that bond. I can use Canis to do the damage. Just fucking K-scope. Let's go. I could literally use Mordred even though they're archers, so it would not be hard because like their health is just so pathetic. I'm thinking like no support. I don't really see the need of support with it. With a stage this easy, it's like, who cares? Fionn. That's everybody likes Fionn, right? Actually, most people don't, but I do, as you can see with the 10-10-10 there. I always do Medusa. Well, I wouldn't mind getting Mordred Bond. But now we'll use Medusa, why not? They both have pretty good battery skills, so you just go with like Sakura. I'm literally gonna go with Sakura or K-scope depending on which one I see first. Here, we'll just do double K-scope. Everybody gets a K-scope, there we go. That's some easy mode farming right there. And because I don't have an event CE, we'll, yeah, I'll put more effort into my farming setups once I actually have event CEs. Then I'll give at least half of a fuck. But like, I'm not gonna throw apples at this to buy the event CEs yet. That's dumb, right? Because you're wasting your AP at that point. I can do that later when I get way more for it. So I know I have a lot of apples, but I just can never get in the mindset of throwing them away. I mean, Medusa being level 80 means she's grailed, so I wouldn't really say that still. I'm probably never grailing Medusa beyond 80, but I'm happy to have her at 80 because I do like Medusa. It's just there's too many units that I want to grail these days, so I don't even know why I'm casting half this shit. Oh yeah, you do have to get presents, that's true. But you can get that without, you don't really have to go that ham to do that. Okay, I'm literally, he doesn't need the art up, but I'm doing it just to, you know, see the battery. Here, we'll give him this too. Oh, the refund, excuse me. Yo, I'm so excited for the Beowulf raid up. I just hate that we have to wait so long. But at least he's getting one. It's not just Christmas events. A lot of the like events that are basically glorified dailies, they pretty much always make the notes like this, where the first few days are pretty shit. I want to see how many stars she makes. Medusa got an animation update. Have you not seen Medusa's day one animations? Because there's something. Actually, I can bring up her sprite. I can show her day one sprite. Oh my god. Honestly, Medusa's animations are fine. Like, yeah, she doesn't have the best in the game, but they're totally fine. 20 stars, that's something. Here we go, yep. Here's day one Medusa here. There it is. There we go. It's honestly, for a day one sprite, that's not that bad. But it's mainly because her hair covers how whack her, you know, her head, you know, bobblehead proportions are. But honestly, for all the day one sprites, this is one of the better ones. Clearly, it's still bad, right? Compared to what she has now, this is not nearly as good. But for a day one sprite, like, and compared to Ushi and you know, Mozart and all them, like, this is definitely better. It's not 10 out of 10, but it's not that bad. But yeah, she got an animation update, and she looks totally fine now. Like, yeah, she's not like on par with like the best animations they've ever made, but she's ahead of plenty that I've seen them make recently, so. And the pose is kind of cool. The issue's more of the proportions and, you know, the whole you know, big head, you know, very undetailed face, you know, that's the thing, day one sprites have the big head and their face is so undetailed. Like, it doesn't really even look like them, generally. Alright, we'll go ult account. I don't want to be blowing too many apples right now. It's just, if I'm going to be, you know, autopilot doing inefficient stages, I'll do it on the ult account, right? But I gotta bust out Samsung Flow again, so give me a second here. Yeah, isn't day one Salter in the tutorial? Like when you it's funny because when you like fight her and stuff, it's the update, but when it goes into the little preset animation with Mash, both Mash and Salter go back to their day one. That is so lazy, by the way, and this is what I always talk about with DW being terrible about future-proofing the game. Fuyuki is the first thing anyone sees of the game, right? And then they see this janky crap like that, right? Where it's like, the enemies have one sprite, then all of a sudden, suddenly their sprite is a million times worse, and then it goes back to being better again. It's like, what? Like, nobody's gonna see that and be like, oh yeah, this is a quality game. Like, it would take so little work for them to fix that too, right? Because mostly it's just their generic MP animations with, you know, some minor changes, right? It is so little work for them to change that like preset animation, but they don't, because they don't do anything, right? Like I've said this every goddamn stream, DW just does not do retroactive things for shit, right? They don't. If they do something, it's like they're doing the widescreen NPs for the new NPs, and they're going to be ungodly slow about like fixing the old ones, right? You know, they don't fix. You know, when they start making a new skill style, and like, oh yeah, it's dumb to have guts and no other thing on it, right? It takes them forever to retroactively, you know, apply that to other people. They're just, oh my god. And like, cause seriously, Fuyuki's still having that ridiculous intro and all that, like with Mash, and it's like at the start of the fight, right? With Mash and Saber Alter. It's like, and there's a few other, it's not just that one, there's a couple. I'm having such a hard time on my phone right now. I'm trying to turn off Samsung Dex, and I cannot find it to save my life. Kind of a combination of focusing on the stream, and being tired. Making it rough. Okay, whatever, we'll just run them both. Hopefully it doesn't make my phone explode. Yeah, I really wish I'd gotten good sleep last night, but I did not. Okay, here we go. See ya, Ari. Have a good one. I probably won't stream too much longer, just because there's not too much to do in the event yet. Hopefully it gets better, though. But I'm enjoying the new animations and Karna and all these things. Like, I would be, if this event was tied to like the quality of like what you would see out of like that's the wrong, there we go, out of like, you know, Good Final or one of those, you know, because every once in a while they make an event that's, you know, really engaging and interesting and, you know, is not a piece of crap. I wish this event was like that, because if we could combine the good animation update and you know, good welfare and all that stuff with like a really fun and good event with like good boss fights and all that, it could be one of my favorite events, right? In terms of like what the updates and everything, they did great. So if they could have had really good gameplay with it, it would have been one of my favorite events. But I'm not gonna complain though. I'm happy. You know, most lottery events are pretty, you know, farmy focused. All right, this account hasn't even like done all the stuff yet. I'm gonna BRB real quick. I need to run to the restroom, and I'm gonna get water and all that too. Give Aries some FP there. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, there'll probably be a bonus stream today. The only hold up is just the fact that I'm really tired today. That's like the only thing. But yeah, I'll probably do some Kenshin or Arc Knights or something. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, well, Chad, if you want to just shoot the shit, now is the time, because we don't have too much interesting content to do. I'll probably wait a little bit on Arknights just because, one, I need to actually, like, get some units ready, and two, there's a lot going on in FGO and Genshin and everything else, but I'll go and play it again at some point. Yeah, it's always going to be cut off because what Samsung Flow does is it just... I can probably make it a little bit better, though. Samsung Flow literally just mirrors what your phone is seeing onto your computer. And because FGO JP, this is not on an A, this is just on JP, FGO JP did their dumbass, I can't put enough air quotes around this, widescreen update, and it just, you know, fills in your phone screen size until there's, you know, it just fills it in with like filler, right? And because of that, you know, most phones don't have like an aspect ratio, like height and width, that would actually work, right? And so it ends up being all like way longer than it is high, if that makes any sense. And if you try to make it show the whole screen and not cut anything off, you'll have black bars everywhere. That's why I use Dex, because Dex lets you kind of trick the game into thinking your screen size is just coincidentally like the perfect aspect ratio. I mean, I don't really know anything about Arknight Phantom, but he looks pretty cool, and I got him in 110 roll, so lol. But I haven't seen his voice lines and all that stuff yet, but he looks cool, so. I'm not sure they ever said what Achilles' best class container is. It probably is Rider, though. It's either Rider or Lancer. But Rider is generally a good class container because it allows you to have the most noble phantasms, so. Yeah, I did a random 10 roll in Arknights and I got Phantom, and I was like, okay, cool. And I only could do 1 10 roll because I don't really play that game, so I didn't have any, like, SQ. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Phantom is actually good in that game. Oh, and as for why we were dropping frames the other day, basically something is wrong with my internet, and my download connection is completely fine, but from time to time, it's not constantly, but from time to time, my upload connection just gets completely borked. And then my ISP could not figure out why, and they're going to send someone out here tomorrow and see if they can figure out what's going on. But this has happened before. Like, a long time ago, we had those massive problems. It was the same thing, so... Probably a damaged landline again or some nonsense. I mean, I don't really read the story in Arknights much, so the story event isn't really what's going to get me to play that game. It's very gameplay focused in that thing. But I mean, I don't rush Arknights at all. Like, I just play it, and I mainly do the main story. And I like using low stars, and that's pretty much it. Hey, Renwick, what is up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for the 26 months. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry I'm so, like, low energy right now, but, you know, not sleeping much has an effect on me. I will say this, if you play FGO for mostly gameplay purposes, I overwhelmingly suggest you play JP. Because JP is always the forefront of gameplay. Right, when they added command codes, JP gets them 2 years before everybody, right? Well, not everybody, but before NA. And then if they added a new boss mechanic, or they added, you know, a cool new servant you want to try out, or they add a bunch of new bronze that everybody gets, you know, that's always on JP, right? So if you're more gameplay focused, I overwhelmingly suggest JP, because it's not even hard to play JP, and like, you know, all the menus are in English anyway, right? You know, like this says master in English, right? You know, it doesn't matter. You won't be able to understand the story, though, but if you care, you can always look up translations and that kind of thing. But, like, navigating the menus is cake. It'll take you, like, a day to get used to the menus and everything, even though you can't read the language, so it's not a big deal. But if you really like the story and you want to always be able to understand, like, what people are saying and, like, you know what the story is right away without having to look up a translation and stuff, then NA is good. And then NA also has the advantage of you get to see the future, right? And you can kind of plan out where you want to use your SQ, right? Especially if you're free to play, right? And so you got to be careful what you roll on. You can kind of be like, okay, I'll use this much for this, and I'll still have several months to save for that, and then, you know, like, you can do those kinds of things. But yeah, if you want to be on the forefront of everything, JP is the way to go. I vastly prefer JP. It's not even remotely close. Because if because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the stories in FGO I don't fucking care about. Even though I love the Fate franchise, but a lot of the stories just aren't very good. But when there are stories that are good, which of course there are those, like Lost Belt 5, and a lot of the main story, and a few events from time to time have interesting stories, then I will just bother to look up a translation, and it's fine. But that's just me. And yeah, you can play both, if you have the time. Especially if you have one account, right? If you don't, like, I have multiple JP accounts, so that's kind of a headache. If you're only playing one JP account and one NA account, that's no big deal. And that's kind of cool because then you play JP almost exclusively for gameplay. And maybe get a preview of kind of what's going on in the story, but then you just kind of keep up with the story as it comes down the pipeline to NA, right? That's totally a reasonable way to do things. And it's very easy to have both versions of the game on your phone, like it's no problem. I mean, there are some good stories in FGO, like absolutely, but there's a lot of not good too. I don't really find grinding a lottery event on 2 accounts that bad. It's only bad if you're like trying to get a million, boxes open. You're just trying to get like a reasonable amount on both accounts. It's no big deal. You spread it out, right? You spread out the love, and it's no big deal. But I have like for me, it's a nightmare because I have a lot more than 2 accounts. So yeah, I'm generally not enjoying the lottery farming experience. Yes, you can get banned for doing automated stuff. They generally don't, but you can. It is completely against the French service. Normally what they're way more gun happy though to ban people over is things like refunds, refunding SQ and things like that, and hacking the game code, things like that they'll ban over. But they, that I never recommend breaking terms of service, and they can always change their mind, right? Because for example, they don't ban for all kinds of things that do break terms of service, but they could start enforcing it if they wanted to, right? So I do not recommend this. Arc Knight stole my FGO luck. Getting that bond up. $1,080 apples. It's not enough, man. It's not enough. Buttons. So I think Martha is solo rated up like the day after tomorrow or something, and then it's the day after that that Bayo was rated up. So I will roll the ult account though to try to get one more copy of Martha, I think, because she's probably not getting rated up again anytime soon. And I do like Ruler Martha. If I could get in P3, I'd be happy with that. And it's my ult account, so I mean, like, whatever. What's FGA? I don't even know what that is. I don't know why I'm buffing this turn. Zig has a voice line to say to not eat too many apples. That's pretty funny. Looking out for our health. What they normally do with like emulators and crap like that is they just break them so the game doesn't work on them, but they haven't done that in a long time. So here's how I feel about it, right? It's your life, you know, breaking terms of service is not the same as breaking the law, although I still do not, you know, we here at Dream Incorporated do not endorse breaking terms of service of any video games anyway, because, you know, Twitch rules, by the way. But it's like, you know, it's your own personal call, but anytime you break terms of service, you are risking your account, and you cannot be sour grapes if you get banned, right? So, and for me personally, I wouldn't even want to use an auto farmer, right? Because I mostly don't play the game for farming, I mostly play it for all the other things. And I just do enough farming to get by, generally. And if I was actually trying to be like that obsessive over farming, I wouldn't really even play the game in the first place. Because at that point, you're just progressing for the sake of progressing. And it's kind of like, why are you playing then? People were saying Vertra is a permanent 5-star, which that was kind of surprising. And I get it, the farming's busy work, and a lot of times you want to focus more on like the main story, you know, that kind of stuff. So I mean, I do get it, and I don't really like the farming that much either, but if it ever bothered me that much, I just wouldn't play the game, right? So, but yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, especially on like my main account, I would never do like, why would I want to do anything that risks my account, right? Like I put too much, you know, time into it, so it'd be such a waste. Just, oh wow, I want to auto farm and then get banned, right? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I really ate into my Lost Belt 6 savings today, but Vertra is cool. And she's pretty cool. She's not like my favorite thing ever, but I can see why a lot of people like her. And she's certainly unique, right? They don't have a lot of designs like that, so. But I won't be, hopefully I won't be eating into my Lost Belt 6 reserve as much, because I'm hoping I'll get Beowulf fairly painlessly, but we'll see. Yeah, I know, it takes no time to get through dailies if you're doing dailies or free quests or whatever. I think when people do auto clickers, there's a lot of times for lotteries and stuff. There are, I'm not gonna call anyone out, but I know several like big name whales that, you know, they use auto clickers like crazy, and when you see this, I don't know for sure, but it's obvious. It's like, I remember like when Castoria came out, right? Someone had her bond 15 in like 48 hours, right? And that's happened multiple times. That's clearly using an auto clicker, and especially like when you're asleep and stuff, because there's just no way somebody does that all the way to bond 15 in like a day and a half or whatever. But some of the stuff that's against terms of service, I think it's stupid that it's against terms of service. But it's their game and they get to do what they want. Though I highly suspect that it's Aniplex, not DW. Speaking of which, didn't DW's other game come out the other day? And if so, I'd be really curious if anybody knows like what's in their terms of service compared to this, because that publisher is Sega. So if like their terms of service is super different, then that really tells you that it's Aniplex. That's it's JP region locked. Well, that's not a good start. It's not anymore, apparently. Okay, well if we get a confirmation on that, that'd be nice. Yeah, there's a few nodes out there that are like the most efficient for farming bond. But my god, that's some dinosaur nonsense when you region lock a game. Hopefully that's not how it is anymore. Some people are saying it's region locked, some people are saying it's not, so you get a confirmation on that. I really do want to know how that game is run. I don't really care about the game, it's going to be telling of like what's Aniplex and what's not. Although I guess there are things that Sega and Aniplex might have in common in the moron department. Yeah, I know it's no male characters, so I'm not even remotely interested in it, but I care about the business side of things. I want to know how it's being ran. So it's not region locked anymore? That's weird that it was region locked for like a day then. That's pretty random. Maybe they just did that so the servers wouldn't explode or something. No, region locking almost never has anything to do with Chinese selling and all that kind of stuff. You know, region locking is a very old practice. I think it's been something that's been around since most of my chat before they were born. And it is overwhelmingly like old school business ideas that are just so out of date. You know, it's like you want to make sure the Japanese people are playing the Japanese game. That way, if you release an NA version, all the NA people will play that version. It's dumb. The math doesn't work out. That's the reason no one does it anymore. But a lot of like old school publishers and stuff still have that mindset. There was even this Gundam game where like the NA team wanted the Korean version of the game to region lock, so the NA people would stop playing the Korean version because they thought that would get them to come play the NA version. Which, by the way, that didn't work. But that kind of mindset is generally where it comes from. But it's not a very popular thing anymore. Region locking used to be so common. Like, it used to be literally every single game out of Asia, pretty much. But there's still some like Nexon, they still do that kind of crap. Like Mabinogi Heroes is still a region locked game after, you know, a million years. It's way smarter for your game to be pretty accepting globally because people want preference. Like, because maybe there is an NA version and you're in an NA, but you prefer the Japanese version anyway, right? Like, why would you not want someone to play your game, right? It doesn't make any sense. And with the way the world is and PayPal and everything, you know, it's so easy to monetize your game even if you're officially not in a region. Like, you can be officially not in EU, but EU people are not going to have a particularly hard time throwing money at you if you allow them to, right? And so that's all you should care about. It's kind of like that mindset when anime was first wow, I'm really dating myself, but, you know, when I was, like, really, really young, there was no anime really in North America, right? And I saw it as it started coming to North America and how these, you know, approached it, right? And like in the really early days, you know, they tried to over-localize things. And some things have to be localized to a degree, right? Like some things just don't translate, of course. But kind of like there's that bit in Steins Gate, right, where you know, the character's speaking bad English, but in the English version that's not going to work, and you're going to have to localize things like that, you know, clearly. But like a lot of the old, the jelly donuts, right? Like that whole thing, right? A lot of early stuff being brought to NA was just stupid. It was like this grandpa mindset, you know, and they didn't like keep up with how the industry was developing and what the fans actually cared about and that kind of stuff. And but you know, over time they get better at these things. But you know, you still see like those outdated mindsets pop up, you know, in the anime industry from time to time, and it's been much harder for video games to get their shit together. I would say, especially the Asian companies. They just, my God, have they done a terrible job of like adapting to like more global market and all that kind of stuff. Like they've done terrible with that kind of stuff. They are starting to get better though. Like these last 5 years, they've noticeably gotten better, but they're still kind of, you know, out of the loop. You know, like, that's why. Like if you're ever gonna hear something get region locked, it's gonna be from Asia, right? I always. Oh my God, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Invisible air guns, man. Good times, good times. That's funny, the Shadow Realm is like barely even in the Japanese version. Like there is some soul, you know, losing nonsense and stuff, but it's not done like at all like it is in the English. Kind of funny using Aya on snow golems. You know, Gil wouldn't use it on, you know, Caster Gilius's monster, right? But he'll use it on snow golems, obviously. Those golems had it coming, man. I like those golems, though. Feels bad. Why aren't they playable? I'm not even kidding. I'd love it if trash mobs were playable. Honestly, a big part, although, like, I actually think the bit in Fate Zero where Gil won't use Aya there is bullshit. And the reason they did that is not because that's naturally, I think, how Gil would act. It's easy to blame it on that because, you know, Gil is very egotistical and all that stuff. But I think the reason they did that is because they didn't want Gilgamesh just ruining the moment. Like, literally, if Gil gave a fuck, that a whole climactic, you know, moment is nothing, right? If Gil just literally blows the monster to bits and that's that, it's bad, right? It's kind of a contrived moment in my opinion, because the thing is, Gil is, you know, egotistical and all these things, but, you know, he doesn't want... Now, I will say, he does not like humanity in the modern era, right? He thinks they've really lost their way and they're kind of a piece of shit. And, you know, he's oftentimes wants people to, like, you know, save themselves and earn their own, you know, keep and that kind of thing. But he would be so... Because that monster is so revolting and it's so damaging to, you know, humans and Earth and everything else, I'm pretty sure he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a hero, this is my job, right? Kind of like with Bull of Heaven running amok, you had to stop it. Now, again, you can credit the whole, you know, Gil in Fate Tonight and Fate Zero is in a much worse, you know, state of mind than he normally is, because humanity is a shit show. But I still feel like that part is kind of forced to just make sure Gil doesn't just ruin everything, right? Because he would. If Gil was actually trying to stop Gilius, it would be over immediately and no one would care and it would not be a very dramatic moment. And I do kind of feel like that was just an excuse that kind of fit, right? It was like, yeah, we can kind of say this and it'll make sense if Gil stays out of it for the most part. Like they do stuff like that in all storytelling, but in Fate especially. Oh, a VC Braun, one of the only units that when you grail him, he gets worse. I really hate that. He doesn't universally get worse, but he absolutely can be worse. Well, here's the thing, Fate Stay Night skill isn't supposed to be one-to-one with Fate Zero's skill, because and this is canon, they've said this, between Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, Gil drinks his Potion of Youth, and that's why he's younger in Fate Stay Night than he is in Fate Zero, right? But it's also just completely canon that Gil's in a piece of shit mood because humanity, in both Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, that, you know, he's... Because Nasu has just straight up said this multiple times, and he's originally said it for Fate Extra, but this is hard canon for Gilgamesh. His mindset and mood and how he's going to behave and stuff is heavily influenced by the state of humanity, right? If they're in a good shape or bad shape, or, you know, that massively affects how he behaves. And this has always been how Gil is. And, you know, truly with the way humans are in like the modern era, and, you know, a lot of sheep and most people have no purpose. That's the big thing, is in a lot of states of humanity, every person has like meaning and like they have a function in society, where in the modern world most of them don't. That's a big part of why Gil is pissed. But you can't, it's like a convenient excuse, right? Like, yeah, that's been a canonical part of this character forever, and that's fine, and they've continued with that, right? In other stories with Gil, they've continued the state of humanity affecting the way, you know, Gilgamesh behaves and stuff. But it's almost like a free get out of jail button, right? It's like, oh wait, Gil would really ruin the climactic moment here. Let's try to spin this in a way that it kind of, you know, plays into what we've said, right? And it doesn't, it's still pretty forced, right? I think Gil is one of the, you know, a lot of what Gil does in Fate Zero is awesome, and I think they characterized him overall very well, and he's kind of like, you know, the outsider. He doesn't really care about getting the Grail for himself personally and all that, and so he like highlights his own views and other characters' views in the story very well, but, you know, a lot of the stuff that he does, I feel like, is pretty contrived. Like, him not saying that he's Gilgamesh to Iskander and stuff was just because they had said in Fate Stay Night that Artoria didn't know who he was. But, like, Gil's not the kind of person to hide his identity at all. And if Iskander is, you know, over here boasting about who he is and is, you know, truly a recognizable figure from history that, you know, I don't see Gil being like, oh, no, I'm not going to tell anybody who I... Like, that's... They were just trying to kind of forcefully keep it in line with what Fate Stay Night did, right? And there's a few things in Fate Zero that are like that. Now, still, I really like Fate Zero, and it's one of my favorite Fate stories, but you know, it's not perfect, and most stories aren't.
縁が結ばれた殺し合おうじゃないかなあ
Gil has the thing about Gil. A lot of people don't want to accept this, but this is just a fact. I mean, and Nasu will say this too. Like, Nasu has said this. Gil is extremely good at understanding people, right? He understands people very well, right? He's able to size people up and know like what they're about very easily, and he's also got that, you know, EX clairvoyance, LOL. But and so he understands Shiro on a very like fundamental level. He actually probably understands Shiro better than Shiro does, because Shiro's kind of a fucking idiot. And so he understands all of his like self-sacrifice nonsense and, you know, all the bullshit that's going on in his head. He understands it very well, and he's like, this is stupid, right? And he just dismisses it very, you know, he doesn't give it much thought. It's like, yeah, that's dumb. So yeah, he has no respect. He has literally no respect for like most of Shiro's decisions, but he does have some respect for him though, for like, you know, just trying hard. And because like in Fate Hollow, Gilgamesh remembers, you know, Heaven's Feel, Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Route, and all the other routes that we never saw, right? There are countless other timelines we never saw. He remembers all those. And I would say he's nice to Shiro, but, you know, he's not out to get revenge or anything, and, you know, he acknowledges, you know, Shiro's, like, effort and whatnot, so he doesn't, like, completely hate him. It's more like, he kind of thinks he's an idiot. He's not entirely wrong about that either. Yeah, Gil may be a dick, but he's a dick that understands people very well. And that's pretty much his role in Fate Zero, is to be like this almost neutral, like chaotic force that kind of sizes up other people's motives and, you know, morality and everything. That's kind of what he's there for in Fate Zero.
慢心せずして何が王か
I mean, that's all of, okay, I say this all the time, but it is what it is. Some people disagree with me, but I think they're crazy. Fate Stay Night is not good when it comes, like, it has plot holes. It has plot armor. It has a lot of plot armor. Like, you know, they do all this, like, down and dirty details with how abilities work and all this stuff, but Fate Stay Night, all 3 routes are loaded with plot armor. It's crazy. And, you know, Emiya still being alive at the end of Unlimited Blade Works is just plot bullshit, right? I like Emiya and everything, but that's just plot bullshit. Like, literally, it says in his character material book, for Unlimited Blade Works, like, specifically for Fate Stay Night, that, you know, Emiya, when he doesn't have a master, can live for 48 hours if he doesn't, like, strain himself and use his mana or take any, like, damage and stuff. That's just, that's straight up what it says, right? And so, Emiya has no master at the end of Unlimited Blade Works, and he waits like a day for Shiro to show up and all that, so that's a big thing. And then he exerts himself greatly, right? You know, he traces a lot of weapons and everything he's fighting, and then he gets stabbed in the fucking chest by Shiro, right? So that's a pretty big, you know, hit to the survivability there, because he doesn't have battle continuation or anything like that. And then Gilgamesh carpet bombs him, and he's got, you know, swords sticking out of him every which way. And then another day goes by, right? There is no world where Emiya should still be alive at this point. He's already gone past the 48 hours. He's been exerted himself greatly in Hey Persona, and he's been stabbed repeatedly all over his body. And somehow this man is still healthy enough to, like, trace and save Rin's ass, and then trace more stuff and save Shiro's ass. And it's like, what? Like, it's just nonsense, right? It's literally nonsense. And, you know, again, Emiya's cool and everything, but, like, that's pure plot contrivance. And as much as I like Nasu's, like, character writing, and he makes extremely interesting characters, he's terrible about that stuff, right? He pulls shit out of his ass to just, you know, force the story where he wants it all of the time. This is nothing new. People act like when I say this is some controversial statement. It's not at all. All 3 routes of Fate Stay Night are packed with plot devices and plot armor and contrivance. And then what else has he done? Nasu made the fucking Fate Extra Life Encore anime. Do I even need to explain what's wrong with that anime, right? Like, do you really think there's no plot armor in that? Right? It's like, Nasu is awful when it comes to plot armor, and he's even joked about it in interviews, and that's fine. You know, ultimately, it's his story. He gets to do whatever he wants, and he likes to focus more on characterization and stuff, and that's great. And I enjoy his characterization of characters immensely. But if you try to look for like logic in like his stories with how like the powers unfold and how things play out, it's not there. It's just not there, right? It's there sometimes when it's convenient, but normally it's not. Dude, everything with Gwaine in that anime is just painful. I like how, and what I really like is, and this is typical Nasu stuff. You know, not only do they fundamentally change how Gwaine's NP works, so Nero can survive. Which, first off, she still shouldn't have survived. I mean, literally, who knew holding up your hands allowed you to block a blast from Excalibur? Like, who knew, right? And then falling into a ditch somehow means you don't die. I was like, okay. But so not only did he fundamentally change, like all the times Gwaine has appeared in anything, that's not how his NP has ever worked. That's not how it's described in character material. And all of his other appearances are in sync with his character material. But then it's not like he retconned it and now it's different from that point on. It's not. Right after that anime, it goes right back to being how it always is. You know, in like an Extella Link and FGO, and it's like, what the fuck, man? It's like for 2 seconds, Gwaine's NP just suddenly works completely differently than it ever has. And then after that, it goes right back to how it was. Just because they just needed Nero to survive for some fucking reason. And it still didn't make any sense. Like, even with them literally changing what Gwaine's NP does, it still made no sense that Nero survived there. Like, who knew holding up your hands could block, one of the higher ranked noble phantasms blasting you in the face? Like, if that's all you needed to do, I don't know how anybody dies in Fate. Like, see, that's all Medusa needed to do in the Fate route. Remember when Artoria blasted Medusa in the face? See, all Medusa needed to do was hold her hands out and she would have lived. But she didn't know that, you see. And so she died, right? She didn't have the magic touch, see? But God, there's just so much stuff like that in a lot of the Fate work. And some of the writers do better than others, right? Some of the writers do a pretty good job, but some of them really don't. That's any property, though. I mean, especially any property that has different writers and stuff. Like, people just bullshit things or don't respect, the established, technology or abilities or whatever of a universe. That happens all the time. Actually, one of the most common things you see in, like, long-running stories. Wait, what about Penth? What's the topic with Penth here? Can Penth Rage Mode take Megalos on? No. But even, people have pointed to that as like a bullshit moment, but it's a little bullshit, but it's not really, because in the story, Megalos is already he's already like fucked up. She doesn't like beat Megalos, she just finishes him off. Now, what's bullshit is how Megalos got beat up in the first place, and they've never explained this because it's just gameplay. So like, oh, these sprites are shaking and that sprite is shaking and somehow this happened. Right, canonically what's happening there is it's Columbus and Megalos versus Kid Fergus, Dion, and Trapface. There is... Megalos could go brain AFK and they could not kill him. It's not possible. Like, literally, Megalos works the same way as Hercules does, except he's stronger. There's no way they could kill him enough times. It's just not, it's literally, on paper, it's not possible, right? He'll get too resistant to their attacks, and that's that. And then on top of that, he'll just rip them apart because he's Megalos. And not only that, but then he also has Columbus there helping him, right? Like, that it is impossible that combination of servants could actually beat Megalos and Columbus. That's bullshit. I want it to get animated to see what horseshit the animators pull out of their ass to try to make it look legit, because it's so bullshit. And this happens all the time where animators have to try to make something bullshit look not bullshit, but it's still bullshit. It'd be hilarious to try to see that fight scene not just be a complete joke. But they're gonna have to do something, right? But yeah, after that, then Megalos is like on his last leg, and then Penth just finishes him off. They at no point in that story imply that Penth could fight Megalos 1v1, like not at all. Like yeah, if you started fighting 1v1, she's not gonna get run over because she's really strong and he's a Greek hero and all this stuff, right? But so she's not gonna just get like grabbed and thrown into a pillar and die, right? Like, of course not. But she's not gonna really be able to kill him either, right? she's kind of screwed in that matchup ultimately.
俺は過労死など精度を上げて潰させてもらう準備完了だ
Yeah, but like they're not gonna, if they do an anime, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna have, and also they have been so inconsistent about what the main character's powers are, and this is because FGO is a video game that has a story that is completely out of sync with its gameplay mechanics. They don't even have a hard canon of how it works. They literally don't, because they've portrayed it different ways in different media, and they portrayed it different ways in the game, right? So the master, like, and this is how I think Nasu sees it. Right, and I actually think this is fair enough. I can't, I can't say for sure, but I think how Nasu sees it is every player's game is their own timeline, right? Your game is your timeline. My game is my timeline, right? And I have the servants that I have, and you have the servants that you have, right? And the way that they kind of make a hodgepodge representation of what this is, you know, is you can't make an anime adaptation or a manga adaptation or something where you're representing this, you know, just X, right? You know, no player uses the same things, has the same servants available to them and that kind of thing. So they went with this kind of like vague, you know, you can kind of like summon a shadow of their saint graph kind of thing. So you could theoretically have anyone, but they can't talk and stuff, so it's not going to affect the story and whatnot. But like in your own game, that's not how it is. Right? Like your servants talk, and you know when they die they say things, and you can use their noble phantasms properly, and blah 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 blah. There's a disconnect between the video game and like the overall story, because there has to be, right? Because they can't write a story for every individual player. I'm sure they would if they could, right? But there's no way to actually represent what you have. So in the anime and the manga and everything, it's like this kind of weird middle ground that I think they've settled on, that kind of like vaguely explains, you know, what's happening video game wise, but then they don't have to actually write anything, and you know, so but really if you look at like how they've represented it in like the story of FGO versus how they've represented it in like the manga and stuff, they don't represent the same way. They literally don't. Like in FGO, the stuff that like we can do is not like it's described in the manga and the anime and stuff, right? Like so in Lost Belt 5, the Hector you summon is Chaldea's Hector. It's not like the Throne of Heroes one that, like, you know, we're going directly here, right? It's the one that's already been summoned by Chaldea, and then we're summoning him there, right? And he can talk, and he's got his noble phantasm, and all that stuff, right? They don't use that in the story often because, again, they can't write every fucking character, but he's not like they've represented it in the manga and stuff where they're like a shadow of themselves or whatever, right? So whenever it happens, like, canonically in the game, they're just like a normal servant like any other time. You just don't use the ability very often, right? Like, you just don't summon normal servants very often from Chaldea because they can't write every servant, you know, in the game. And it's like, this might sound really dumb, but I mean, it's what it is. Like, I see a lot of people trying to act like, oh, it's X, right? It's like there's one canonical answer to how, you know, FGO handles, you know, the player's own servants and stuff, but they don't. I mean, they handle it differently in almost every media they've done for FGO. It's different in the manga to the anime, it's different in the game to everything else. And so it's like, it's nothing, right? There's a disconnect between the story and gameplay, and it just kind of is what it is. But I very much think if Nasu could have his way, and he could have unlimited writing works, I think he would literally just have it where the story is written for each player, and what characters they have, and who they use. That's what I think he would do if he could. But that's obviously completely impossible. And so, you know, they have this kind of, like I said, this kind of vague representation of that, so... And like I think that's fine. You know, I don't think it has to be, you know, perfectly represented. It doesn't have to be perfectly explained, because I think people want to have their cake and eat it too. They want a handcrafted story and, you know, these characters and whatnot, but then they want their own gameplay and use the characters they like. They want to beat up, you know, Arjuna with their Artoria or whatever, right? They've got, like, you know, people like, you know, I want to use Ku to murder everyone, right? And that kind of thing. Everyone's got like their headcanon, right? But then you still want a handcrafted story to explain what the fuck you're doing anyway. So I honestly don't. I think, if anything, the better way of handling it is not explaining it at all. And I think their attempts to explain it, and especially explain it in different ways, in different medias, has actually been kind of a bad idea. It was kind of like how in the old days they tried to make excuses for rarity, and then now they don't. And then you can have super overpowered people be low star, and meh people be high star. And it's just about sales. And I think it's better that way, right? And I'm glad they don't explain it anymore. And with the disconnect between gameplay and story, I think they should never even try to have explained it. I would never even touch on it, and just let people have their own, you know, headcanon, because they're going to do that anyway, so... Dude, if they give story replay, I'm telling you, And if I somehow forget, chat, give me shit for this. If the Ad Story Replay, one of the first things I want to stream is a setup that lets Ku kill Gwaine from Camelot. I want to do that really bad. So I want that to be one of the first things that I do. There's a lot of things that I want to do. It's actually overwhelming, like how many things there's to do if we had Story Replay. That's where I'll like take viewer requests until I get my bearings and I kind of remember, oh yeah, we have these stages and those bosses, and then I can kind of think about it more. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up soon because it's getting late. God, and then Lost Belt 1 when they tried to explain why we're not just summoning, you know, Gilgamesh. That was, I mean, that was just awful, right? I would have rather they just didn't even mention that, right? That was so dumb. I was like, oh yeah, we can't just summon the King of Heroes because this era doesn't have like an impression of a person that was strong enough to like stand up to Ivan, right? It's like that was so dumb. It's like stop talking. It's like please just stop talking. That was like the worst exposition I think I've ever seen in FGO, and maybe even Fate in general, right? That was atrocious. It was kind of funny though. It was so bad. It was kind of funny. I mean, I can get my crew to deal 2 million damage pretty easily, to be honest. But Gwaine isn't just you doing half damage. He has these damage resistance as well, so it's pretty nasty. So if they did New Game Plus, this is what I want them to do. I actually think New Game Plus is a great idea, and there's been several mobile games that have done New Game Pluses. So this is what I would do. Especially for Yuki to Camelot, I would pretty heavily change things. You'd want to really spruce up the gameplay for those parts, right? And like, you know, really add a lot of stats to the enemies, slap a health bar on Vlad in Orleans and stuff like that. Now, you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to handcraft like challenge quest level boss fights. I think everyone would be okay with if for Yuki to America, it's, you know, it's like, yeah, they've got higher stats, but it's nothing too crazy, right? I think overwhelmingly people would be accepting of that, right? But then Camelot and on, because the bosses already have gimmicks, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You can do pretty simple stuff to make it a lot spicier, right? Like give Gwaine 2 extra health bars. Maybe you give him a tiny gimmick, like, oh, he clears debuffs when you break a health bar or something, right? So like Charm Lock doesn't work as well, right? Like you don't do anything crazy. You keep it pretty simple because the bosses stand on their own decently enough. The one boss though, and I would say each singularity, you should probably pick one boss to really spruce up. And for Camelot, these should really spruce up Lion King. I cannot be the only one that is so disappointed in that boss fight. She's literally supposed to be the strongest of the bunch there, right? She's a big fucking deal. And she's so much easier than Gwaine, right? Like, she's not that hard of a boss fight. Like, yeah, she's not the easiest boss fight ever, but that needs to be a way more intense fight. And so if there's one boss you really want to, you know, actually, okay, let's take a second and do more than just slap health bars on it and slap, like, a really generic thing, like, oh, you know, the clear debuffs, you know, you actually put some real oomph into it. Lion King for that one. Maybe you pick one boss per singularity from Camelot and on that you put a little bit more effort into. And for Babylon, Tiamat. Obviously, Tiamat needs to be way harder, right? So that one would be the one you'd want to sit down, like, okay, let's really spruce this up and make it make this memorable. You know how cool that would be? You know, you don't have to bring back Tiamat in a new main story or anything. If they just add a New Game Plus and then Tiamat is this real standout, holy shit, this is a hard boss fight, that's going to be a real thing in the community, right? And that'd be awesome. But yeah, for a lot of the fights, you don't need to do much. Camelot and on, you know, you can just boost their stats a bit, you know, maybe add one gimmick, do little minor stuff here and there. And then as you get towards the end, you don't really need to do much at all, really. Like, I mean, what are you going to do to Zeus, right? He's bad stuff. Like, what the fuck are you going to do to Zeus, right? If you make that any harder, it's going to be bullshit, right? Maybe you could give him a little bit more health, right, or something like that. But other than that, I wouldn't want them to do too much to Zeus. It's like, yeah, guys, now you're going to fight Zeus, and he's immune to debuffs. And he's got an extra health bar. And that last health bar has 1,000,000 health. Have fun! Oh yeah, and he's actually a ruler now. So everyone is doing half damage. So yeah, like, no, don't do that. That's stupid. That's horrible. Don't fucking do that, right? You know, you gotta be reasonable about some of these things. Because Zeus is so hard, it's hard to make him any harder without it being dumb. But you can make him a little harder. You could do a little couple, you know, tweaks in. Like Demeter, you could twink it a little bit, make it a little bit harder. You can push the envelope a little bit with those. I don't think they're so hard that you can't. But yeah, mostly I want them to look at Fuyuki to, Fuyuki up to America, including America, and, spruce those up, make their stats a lot higher, add some break bars, maybe add a couple of gimmicks here and there. It doesn't have to be anything fancy though. Like literally, I don't think they need to reinvent the wheel with like gimmicks on any of those fights. But just like, you give cool, so like, oh, he gets a free stack of protection from arrows, and maybe, debuff immunity when you break his first health bar, right? Just, really stuff you can just slap on them. You don't have to, like, add a bunch of extra coding or make a new gimmick like they did with Limbo and stuff. You can just copy-paste shit onto those and make it... That way, it's like, yeah, it's much better, but it's, it's something, mind-blowing, right? That'd be fine. So, I'd love it if they did that, though. I'd love it if they did New Game Plus, and then you could replay it as you like, right? Because really, if they added story replay, let's be real, it's pretty much just Camelot and on. Everything before it, no one gives a shit. And even Camelot, you have to handicap yourself quite a bit. Because the Camelot gimmicks are fun, but their stats aren't. Right, Mordred has like 300k health. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, I think she's like 280k actually. Like, that is nothing. Like, even for like a pure 1 to 3 star, that's nothing. Like, that's not a big deal, right? So, stat-wise, Camelot could use a facelift, but its gimmicks are, for the most part, fine. I think they do all right. Maybe change, like, Lancelot a little bit. He hasn't held up too well. You know what would be cool, though, is if they did New Game Plus, and by the time they rolled it out, they'd already added Agravain, and then they just added an Agravain fight into that. They don't even have to have a lore explanation for it, just kind of there, just for the fun of it, right? And you get like a cool background, like in the Camelot Castle or whatever, and you just have it'd be cool to make a new fight in the spirit of those old gimmicks, right? Although, funnily enough, Agravain took no blessing, but you could still give him, gimmicky boss fight just because. That'd be cool. It'd be kind of fun to have like a bonus fight that's kind of in line with what was, from the time. I would really enjoy that, honestly. I think that'd be great. I do think they're going to add Agravain. They even said that they wanted to a long time ago. They said they planned on doing it. Now, they still haven't, which is kind of scary, but I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen either sometime after the Camelot movies are over, or it'll happen in Lost Belt 6. I think it's one of those two things. It's like, they'll wait for the movies, and they'll use the movies as inspiration to, like, how they want to make his animations look and stuff. And so it'd be several months after the movies, if that's the case. Or they've already got him planned, and he's just going to be in Lost Belt 6, right? I think it's one of those two things. Or who knows, though, they could do some crazy bullshit like slap him on New Year's or, White Day or whatever. Can you imagine Agravain as the White Day? I wouldn't mind, I'd be fine with it, but that'd be pretty funny if the White Day character was Agravain. He actually is decently popular, though, so I think people would be alright. Alright, we'll do one more stage here. So if you got any last second, comments or questions, now is the time. And then I'm going to take a break, and then I might come back and play a little bit of Genshin. But I want to play some other games soon, but I wanted to play Dead Cells, but it was broken, so that was kind of lame. I just want them to... I mean, I want Green Knight, of course, but I don't think that's the player base at large. There's like 9 people on the planet that want Green Knight. Green Knight's only chance is just the fact that they've mentioned him so many times. Dude, if I have to do the Salted Challenge quest again, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's so fucking boring, and it's been in the game so many times, dude. The King Hassan boss fight was just... It was a good idea, but it was not implemented particularly well. They kind of revisited the idea with Leonidas in Guildfest, and I think it's much better. It's a bit easier, but that doesn't really matter. It's just a better boss fight. It's fairer, it's more interesting, it's more flexible. They can still kick your ass, right? I think the Leonidas boss fight is just that concept executed significantly better. Green Knight is in the most prominent. He's in overwhelmingly the most famous thing he's from is from Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Like that, it's what Gawain is most famous for is that. But he's also in like Arthur and Cromwell and some of the older stories too. But he certainly is not the most known Arthurian figure. Funnily enough, though, I always bring this up, but the guy that wrote Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, he was a huge Green Knight fan. He very much liked the stories of the Green Knight. And I think he even retold them himself. He made like a book of like a retelling of some of his stories and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And what is it? Cyberpunk 2070, whatever. I am just so uninterested in that game, and I never have been. It's so rare that like the mainstream AAA games interest me at all because they're so style over substance. That's like their whole shtick, is have just enough substance for not to be completely boring crap, but not really be that mechanically deep or interesting, and it's more about like the fantasy of whatever like they're going for, and I don't care. Like I literally don't care. You know, I don't have a problem with like cyberpunk universes and stuff, but you know, it just looks like, you know, another open world first person shooter. I'm like, great. Like I don't care. Like the gameplay looks, you know, pretty unmechanically interesting to me, and I don't mind cyberpunk's like aesthetic, but I don't really hype it either. So I have no interest in it. I literally have. I don't have any hate for it. I have no hate for it. I do have hate for how the developers handled it, though. I think the way they marketed it was bullshit. You know, they said a lot of things in interviews and stuff that were just lies, and like the way they've responded to some of like the accusations of that kind of stuff has been pretty bad. Like I really, it's pretty sad because, you know, Project Red is a pretty, you know, liked developer, but they did a lot of shady, you know, PR horse shit with how they handled that game. I think the money got to them, right? That's kind of how it goes. Not necessarily like the on the boot, you know, ground level developer, but like, you know, their higher up executives and stuff. But yeah, I'm just not interested in that game. Like, not even a little bit. Like, the most interesting thing about it is just the bugs are hilarious. I've seen like videos of some of the bugs, and they're really funny. But yeah, I mean, it is so rare that a AAA mainstream game catches my attention. Like, they're normally mechanically unsatisfying to me, and they're too easy, and they're just trying so hard to sell you on the fantasy of like whatever their world is, and that just doesn't work very well on me. And for me to get into a game and to actually really enjoy its aesthetic and its atmosphere and stuff, I have to like the game. Like, the gameplay has to be good, right? Like, one reason why I was able to get into like Dark Souls' story and atmosphere and everything was because I actually liked the gameplay of it, right? Although, funnily enough, you got like Ninja Gaiden Black, where I love the gameplay, but the story is awful, and I don't care about it the slightest. But, you know, that's because it just legitimately has terrible atmosphere and everything. But anyway, yeah, it's like I don't play games just for like the fantasy of like, oh, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a pirate. Like, that doesn't. It's got to be a good game, or I just can't get into it generally. This is a video game equivalent to Big Macs, and pretty much. And some people like Big Macs, and that's great. I'm not, this is not an objective, like, criticism. This is subjective as hell, right? Some people really like just having a game that's, like, you know, interesting enough to not bore them, but it's not, like, really in-depth, and it's, like, you know, you can get into the world and the characters, and that's great! Have fun! You know, go nuts, right? It's just not for me, right? Like, those kind of games I don't generally get into. Now, sometimes AAA games, though, do make games that have good gameplay. It does happen, but pretty rarely. They're normally trying to cast a wide net. So they're trying to make sure they want to make sure, you know, dumb down the street can beat the game. And because of that, anybody that's more hardcore and wants like something to really sink their teeth into, they're generally not going to find it in those kinds of games. So, all right, boys. I think we're going to wrap up there, and I'll try to... why do you play FGO? Because it has good gameplay. Like, it's not when it's farming, right? But like, if you go fight Zeus... If you go fight Zeus, it is a way harder and more interesting experience that has more variety and, you know, ways to approach it and everything than you're going to see from any AAA game. Like, yeah, FGO's got plenty of, like, LOL 3-turn farming, right? But if you want to, like, fight Gwaine with 1 to 3 stars, that's going to be a very interesting experience. You want to fight Lee Students, for God's sakes, with 1 to 3 stars, that's going to be a very interesting experience. If you want to figure out how to, like, solo... you know, Mothman with a variety of units, that's going to, you know, take a lot of thought, effort, and planning, and, you know, understanding and stuff. The whole reason I stick with FGO is because it does have a lot of mechanical depth if you know how to get it out of the game. Now, I really don't care much for the, you know, the farming and all that stuff. I put up with that stuff, you know, in spite of it, not because of it. But it's, you know, it's quite easy to get good gameplay experiences out of FGO. That's why my whole thing in my videos and stuff is to not trivialize bosses, but to like understand them and find ways to approach them and budget-friendly ways to approach them, because it is very hard and difficult. It's actually harder than a lot of other games I can think of. Not the hardest by any means. I've played plenty of other games that are harder, but and same for Arknights, right? If you're not like if you're not throwing 6 stars all over the screen in Arknights, figuring out some of those stages is pretty goddamn hard, right? Like, it's a pretty engaging experience. It's almost Arknights is almost too hard sometimes when you're trying to do budget-friendly stuff in Arknights. It's rough, right? It can get pretty tough, but I am never bored when I'm trying to figure out Arknight stuff. So that's the thing. All right, boys. Is Cairo streaming? If he is, we'll raid him, because I figure most of my viewers, you know, they're more into FGO. They don't want to watch Genshin anyway. So if Cairo is playing, we'll hit him up. Oh, he is playing. Okay, yeah, we'll raid Cairo then. He is probably playing the event or something. So let's get his opinion on this bullshit. All right, boys. Thank you for hanging out. For those that do want to watch Genshin Impact later, I'll be streaming that in like 20 minutes or something. And for everybody else, I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Although maybe not, because I'm trying to get my internet fixed, and you know that may be a whole ordeal, and we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, peace out. Go shoot Cairo with finger guns.